Welcome to Big Hoss's Tailgate.
Did you say gang size and
Yeah, gang
signs the
signs.
camera?
But this is the only one I know. It's like peace with the pinky up.
I thought that was just the shocker. You were just going for shock
That is
value
the
there.
shocker. I was actually.
Yeah, it
you
was like
caught
shock
me.
value.
I was actually someone dared. They're like, "You think you can fit the shocker into this podcast you're about to do?" And I was like, "Absolutely."
Like first 5 seconds,
Yeah.
shocker.
That's what I said. I'm not going to
You
waste
could've
any
said-
time.
I
either.
could segue into Spider-Man, but there's already been an episode where they talked a lot about Spider-Man.
Oh, I do like Spider-Man. I don't know enough about him to talk a lot. I just know with great power comes great responsibility, and that's it. So we're into it now.
Yeah, we're just into it. I
podcasting.
just started.
Okay.
Like I try to make it.
Excellent.
I'm trying to be like Joe Rogan, okay, and just start the conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, but then it's always weird because then you never get to the intro, and people are like, "Who the fuck are you talking to?" So I was like, good point. And I probably broke the YouTube rule because I said the F word like
I was going to say I was also
before
cursing.
a minute
Is that-
in. Screw it. Actually, you know what?
If you say it within a minute, you're good? Or YouTube just doesn't check more than a minute? They're like, it's clean.
I don't get why, because have they ever seen their old videos? Do they not remember like the old I think there was that kid that was it Make Me Bad something, and he did the Mr. Wooden Alligator, and he'd yell crocodile cock like all the time in the episode.
That's pretty funny. I did not know that. I don't know what you're referencing there.
Oh, that's like old
Should we
school.
pull it
like-
up? Is that not a thing?
I
we
could
do?
pull it up, but the problem is that I don't have so people would be like, why are they pausing?
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
I always say like in between the camera breaks, pull it up.
Excellent.
So whenever I reference a trailer to somebody and they're like, no, I haven't seen it yet, I'm like, now I know what I'm showing you between camera takes. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm with Pittsburgh comedian,
Yes.
open mic host,
Yes.
Nick Lombardo.
Absolutely. Happy to be here, guys.
I think the first time meeting you was like you posting about the mic.
Oh, very possibly. I'm not too far into comedy, but I don't know. People said host a mic. It'll help you like meet people and make connections and develop
does.
the hosting skill. And so far so good. We've been hosting at the Lynx. It's a great venue. Like thrilled to be there. I want to get more people in, obviously, like both audience and comics, because as a comic, like it
Well, it's
sucks
just
performing
weird.
to other comics that you perform to.
It's kind of cool
because
because you do get to like see their feedback on stuff when you're trying new stuff.
Yeah.
But it's weird. You actually have to go raunchier.
Oh.
Because comedians don't. If you're only going to laugh out of comedians, you got to say the most fucked up thing you can think of.
Huh.
Sometimes.
I thought you guys were just letting the real degenerates come out. Because I did notice anytime that it's like all comics, people just talk about whatever the heck they want.
Exactly, because you can kind of be yourself. You don't have to try the show jokes.
Huh. Ain't that something?
Because you're like, I'm performing on comics. I want to see if I can make these guys laugh.
Yeah.
So you're just throwing out like all your shit thoughts of the day.
No, that
Like,
makes
yeah,
sense.
I was taking a shit today at work and kind of got on my pants. Wasn't sure how to handle that. Like, that's usually like the kind of stuff that comes out that you'll hear in all comic rooms.
That's fair. I have also talked about shitting myself in front of an audience, though I will tell you that. So I guess we
That's
gotta get
something-
raunchier still.
We can't be disgusted at that as a society anymore.
That's fair.
Like, people are literally shitting in the streets. I'm pretty sure if they contain it in their pants,
I feel like since
we've at least evolved socially at this point.
since Qdoba and that style of restaurant came out, I think it's just like, I don't know why I'm taking shots at Qdoba. I heard that and I was like, let me take a shot. But I love Qdoba, actually.
Hey, they're not going to be a sponsor, so who cares?
Yeah, so I can
That's the
take
way I look
shots.
at it.
Fuck Qdoba. Oh man, I shouldn't be
Talk
cursing.
shit about all the companies you know will never sponsor you.
Absolutely.
Like,
so
fuck
all
you, Nike.
companies. Yeah, fuck Nike. Fuck all of these
Yeah.
companies. I take that back if any of you want to give me money ever, but
Yeah.
we're
Apple,
serving.
I'm not going to say too much to because I'm like, hey, listen, I need your slave labor to make things run.
You know what I always want to do at Apple stores? I've never had the balls to do it, but I always want to do it.
What's that?
Just like walk in and be like, kind of like make jokes about that they support slavery. Like, all right, guys, like if you support slavery, raise your hand. Why is no one raising their hand? I shouldn't be saying those things. Like, I obviously don't support slavery. Disclaimer. It's just if you own an iPhone, which you do, that shit probably came from children in China that are slaves. So to be clear,
And
we
so
do
does
not
your
support slavery here.
And so does your Samsung phone.
Yeah, no,
The
it's
same
true. It's true.
technology is going into both.
Yeah.
So it's like we can't really, like, you know what I mean? It's like no one here is innocent.
Yep. That and chocolate. If you like chocolate, I love chocolate. Like dark chocolate is a huge weakness of mine. I mean, it's good for you, but like it's, still sugary and shit. Like 85 to 95% of that is farmed and mined by slaves. So it's like, yeah, you can talk good all you want, but if you're using a smartphone or eat chocolate, which I feel is like, can we agree that's like 99% of the population?
I tell you what though, over the years though, my love for chocolate has diminished.
Really?
And I think it's a lot. I blame this, like, it's kind of like how alcoholics after so long, they drink, like there's some guys like, you know what, I picked up a beer and it didn't taste the same after, because I drank so much throughout my life. You've used up your supply. I feel like being a fat kid all these years has ruined chocolate for me.
Okay.
Like nothing sweet actually tastes good anymore.
Dude, I feel bad for you because I love chocolate.
And it also could be a side effect from COVID.
Oh, do you think you have like long COVID or whatever? You can you not taste anything?
No, I taste it, but it's just that it does not taste as good.
Huh.
And it also could just be just growing up as an adult. Either you get used to shit. It's weird.
Could be little of anything. I'm a weird person, right? I like doing like cleanses and fasts and all that type of shit.
I've never done that.
So I've done like a decent amount of fasting compared to like the average human being. And one of my favorite things is like after you come back from like a prolonged sugar or like water fast, stuff tastes so sweet. It's like you bite into like a piece of fruit and it tastes like a candy bar. You bite into a candy bar and you're like, oh my God, this is like almost too sweet. Like after a fast, I'll eat like 95% cacao chocolate and be like, wow, this is sweet. Versus like normally if you eat that, you're like, this is really bitter. Like this isn't good.
Yeah, I never thought. Yeah, I guess I've actually heard a lot of people say that when they go on cleanses, like things do taste better.
Yep.
I wonder if we're supposed to do that as humans. Like every so often, guys, hold off. Like go a day without eating.
I would say yes. I would argue that it's like one of the best things you can do for your health.
Dude, they did it all the time in biblical times.
Yep. Actually, a lot of blue zones, which are like the places people live forever, are also Orthodox Catholics. So which have like hundreds, like 100 to 200 fasting days built into their calendar per year. So they're not sure if like, is it the Mediterranean diet in these blue zones, or is it the fact that they have built-in fasting into their diet, like not a majority, but like a very, I don't know, large part of the year or whatever.
There's a dark joke there, and I'm taking a swing at it.
I like
Notice that it's also that other people that fast, their life expectancy isn't super long, because like you'd think the Middle East would have a very long life expectancy, but when you start looking into past history, you're kind of like, oh, that's why.
Yeah, because
literally like this, it's almost like they're blowing themselves up like every day.
I wonder who's doing that.
Yeah, it's like no wonder. Oh, I guess they're still doing the cleanse, but they're not living as long for other reasons. You know?
Yep. No, I don't. Yeah,
that was a dark joke that I was just like, I'm taking a risk saying that as a joke, because I'm sure someone's going to look at me and go, dude. I'm like, okay.
No, you're good. I think you're in a safe space. This is your podcast. You can say whatever the hell you want.
Those are the jokes you think of, but you want to say, but you're like, am I going to get in trouble?
I'll just say them.
It's like, because I have dark jokes all the time.
Yeah.
But I'm not actually like, I'm actually like very like caring about people.
Yeah.
Which I hear Bill Burr's like similar like that.
Okay.
Like, despite how mean he is, he's actually like a super nice guy. And it's just only the dark thoughts he thinks about sometimes.
I like that. That makes me think of the like nice versus good, if that makes sense. Where like, you know what I'm saying? If you get a flat tire on the side of the road, a nice person will like, tweet about it, be like, oh my God, the suffering out here. Like, look at Big Hoss on the side of the road with a flat tire.
Yeah.
Versus like a good guy will like get out and be like, yo, Hoss, you need help changing this tire.
The bad part is that people have made it to the point where you can't trust people like that no more. Like, you want to help people, but is this guy going to stab me? You know what I mean? So now we run into that. Like,
that's fair. I don't worry about that though.
And I would venture to say this whole change in society of the reason why there's less good people in the world now is because of Charles Manson.
Why do you think it's because of Charles Manson? That's a subject I know almost nothing about. I know he's like
really?
the MK Ultra guy, right? Is that Charles Manson?
It's alleged that he went through that.
Okay, that's all I know about him is that he's allegedly the MK Ultra guy. And is he like, did he bats on stage or some shit?
No, you're thinking of Ozzy Osbourne.
Okay, yes I am.
Yeah.
What did he's a musician though?
Technically.
Okay.
He has music by the Beach Boys.
Okay.
Let's put it that way. He actually has ties to the Beach Boys. So Charles Manson had a cult in California.
Right.
And basically told his cult followers, I want you to go to this house and raise hell. The reason why he said go to that house is because that's the house one of the Beach Boys used to live in.
Oh.
But has since changed hands to Roman Polanski, Sharon Tate. There was a couple other people there. And those people got killed.
Oh. And why is the conspiracy that
there's a
the
big
CIA wanted them dead or whatever?
No, there's a conspiracy that basically the government experimented on him because they wanted to see if LSD could be used to mind control people.
Right.
So they run those experiments. He was one of those dudes. Like, he was in some program somewhere, and the same doctor is actually the doctor that went to go visit Jack Ruby and then made him lose his shit. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's where it starts getting crazy.
I did not know that. Yeah. No, I mean, that's what I knew. He was the MK Ultra guy, but that's all I know about the man.
Yeah. So, like, that's the theory. But he was also kind of a musician because he wrote music, and you can actually listen to it. It's weird. And it's all right. It's not great, but you could tell. I mean, I guess all crazy people are geniuses, kind of, sometimes. Look at Kanye. Musical genius.
I think
batshit insane.
I feel like I would say the reverse of that is true, where I would say maybe I misunderstood you. I would say all geniuses are crazy, but I don't know if all crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. There might be some crazy people out there. Like Boyle likes to talk about. Is it Boyle who talks about the Blade in the South Side?
Oh, that's Doyle. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like that dude's crazy. I wouldn't call Blade a genius. I might be wrong about that.
He's a genius in the scenarios that he's living in. Let's put it that way.
That's fair.
You know what I mean?
I'll take that.
If he's Blade, he has all the knowledge of vampire hunting because that's the scenarios he's living in.
That makes sense. So it's like, yeah, anyone's an expert in something. You just got to figure out what they're an expert in.
Yeah.
Okay.
And his might just be like in made up physics.
Yeah.
So he's a genius in it. Whatever it is, it's wrong, but he's a genius in it. Like.
That's what I strive to be. Just like overly confident in anything, no matter how wrong I am.
I'm kind of hoping the mic picked up on the thunder. We are recording this in a thunderstorm.
It's true. And it's bad, people.
And there's surge protectors, so nothing's going to blow up.
Yes. I was very concerned about that also.
But you know what? Like, I would say thunderstorms are usually pretty weak around here, but after this year, we've had some tornadoes.
No, we've had some strong storms. I feel like maybe I was just a kid and didn't notice, but like I never thought trees got blown over. I remember like 1 or 2 trees being blown over in my childhood. Now it's like multiple every year.
Yeah, because God's pissed.
Yeah.
Let's just put it that way. God's pissed.
Damn. You think he's mad at us?
I don't know. I like to assume that.
Oh, no, I don't think
it's more fun to imagine it that way.
It's more fun to imagine.
It's more fun to imagine you're living
vengeful God.
Yeah.
Like, no.
It's more fun to imagine that the end of times is coming and that the downfall of society is upon us than it is to think that, yeah, this is going to get better.
I guess that's fair.
Because it's getting so much worse.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's fair. I feel like the end of society, I think, like, maybe this is the ego talking. I think I would do well at the end of society. I don't know what credentials I have to say that. I don't own any guns, so I don't know where I would expect to get any power in like a Mad Max situation. But I just feel like I would be doing fantastic in the end of the world.
So if you're going to pick an end of the world society to live in, which one are you picking?
Does Star Wars count? Is there any end of the world?
It's weird because technically people say that Star Wars actually is currently in our timeline.
Oh.
It's actually before us.
Oh.
And that Earth isn't a separate I don't know. My friend did say Earth exists in Star Wars universe, and they just don't touch us because they're so far away. That's why it's a galaxy
Is it that
far,
we're so
away.
far behind? Because like we don't have Star Wars tech right now. We don't have light speed.
It could be.
But
It
I guess
also could
neither
be the
did the
downfall.
Ewoks
We
or
could be
whatever.
their apocalypse.
Oh, that's crazy. We
You
could
mean?
be.
That's a theory.
We could also just get blown up by the Death Star at any time. Like, we don't know where we are in the Star Wars universe. All right.
And where does Fortnite play into all this?
I don't know.
Fortnite logic blows my mind
Okay.
because there's so many characters, and they all have ways that these characters are written into their world.
Oh, really? They write the lore in? See, I didn't... Because isn't Fortnite the one where you get all the different skins for, like... And they just write the lore
Like
in
DC
on, like,
actually
why
had a
Mega Man's
mini
in there or
series.
some shit?
Yeah, like DC has a mini series where they explain Batman went.
Dude, that blows my mind. That's actually like the coolest thing I've ever heard. I did not know Fortnite was that involved. I thought you could just get like skins of your favorite things and like that's just how it was. And
Yeah,
it was
there's
just
like all
a
like
skin.
lore explanations.
But you're
to
telling
everything.
me every because they have to have thousands of skins at this point.
Yeah, because it's like these because they always have cutscenes where those characters play a part in the cutscene.
Wow. Dude, that's why that actually low key blew my mind right now, Big Hoss. Look at that. This is a mind blowing episode
Like there's a Star
of Big
Wars
Hoss's Tailgate, guys.
Yeah, because they just did a Star Wars Death Star thing, and you got to raid the Death Star and blow the Death Star up in the game.
Oh my god, that's
and then at
great.
the end, when it camera pans out to show like the Fortnite map, it pans out and you see the red cape, and it's the tie-in for Superman this month.
That's wild. Okay, that's really cool, but I'm going to use that to switch the subject slightly. Remember how we were talking about before how oh god, now I forget. Oh, memes. Like memes influence, they're so part of society. One meme that I love and I would love to write jokes about at some point is like it's not even a meme, it's like a little mini episode or something. I just think it's hilarious. It's like stormtrooper conspiracy theorists talking about how like the Death Star couldn't have been blown up. You know what I'm saying? Like R911 where they're like, like you're telling me that he shot a rocket in like this little 2-foot hole. No way. Like that has to be made up. It was obviously an inside job. Like the Empire blew up the Death Star.
The best part is there's a Star Wars Alex Jones out there that's fucking
what do you think?
Right about everything, but everyone hates it.
What do you think the Star Wars Alex Jones looks like? Like if you had to pick like a Star Wars universe character, and
honestly,
give
it's just
him-
Alex Jones with a leather vest.
So he'd be a human.
He looks, he's kind of dressed like. He's dressed like Jabba the Hutt.
I was picturing Jabba the Hutt as like I was picturing a Hutt because that's a race in Star Wars, right?
But then he's speaking Huttese, and I want to hear that Alex Jones saying wild shit part. So
What
I gotta
about,
hear the English language come from it?
That's fair.
Alien language isn't as fun.
What about the Gungams? Is that what Jar Jar Binks was? A Gungam?
Yeah.
Because they do the thing. What if every time Star Wars Alex Jones got mad, he just like did the but like, you know what I'm saying? Like he was talking in English.
So I was the reason why I was thinking the Jabba characters. Have you ever see what Jabba looked like when he was supposed to appear in the original?
I mean, they're big slugs, right?
No, he wasn't Slug then.
What?
Because they couldn't do the effect. Like they didn't figure out the effect then. It was
like in the original 3 Star Wars, he was definitely like.
So it's a cut scene that they put back in for the special editions where they do the slug.
Oh yeah, but he's a slug. You just can't see him.
Yeah, but do you see how he looks there? It's just a normal dude.
Oh.
Because the scene was shot with a normal guy, and he speaks all the lines that Jabba says in the movie just in English.
Oh yeah. That's like having a. I mean that I feel like that happens in movies. Like I feel like I remember hearing about an actor
like that outfit
who like was playing a dog, but the dog had to talk, so they had like a human come in and act as the dog, but he like was like a serious actor and was like walking around acting like a dog while he was on set, but then delivering these lines. Apparently, it really helped the other actors.
So
I might
Rocket,
have just made all that up.
When they do for that for Guardians, Rocket, they just have a guy in a green suit.
Okay.
And and it's actually James Gunn's brother.
Sick.
And he just walks. I might still be friends with him on Facebook.
James Gunn?
No, his brother. Because like it was right before they blew up and got famous, so like it was right when Guardians came out, and so I just happened to see he posted about it, and I looked and it said add friend, and I just added him, and he accepted it. But then after a while, he started getting more famous, so he stopped posting on it.
I'm gonna go check your friends list when I get out of here. See if
Yeah,
can
I don't know if
become
it's still
friends
on
with
there.
that guy.
I'm curious because I also had it with John Schneider too for a bit.
John Schneider.
Bo Duke from the Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh, okay. He's been famous for a while though, hasn't he? That's not like a new thing.
Dukes of yeah, it's 80s, and then it's Superman's dad.
Nice.
Smallville.
Right on. Wait, who's the Superman with I forget. Never mind.
Christopher Reeves or Tom Welling?
No, different Superman.
Superman Returns.
Maybe he was from a movie.
Yeah, that's the one they brought back to be the Kingdom Come Superman in the Crisis events.
What's that actor's name? It doesn't matter. Never mind.
Brandon Routh.
Okay, I'm thinking of someone else. All right.
I liked him in Chuck. Ever watch Chuck?
No. Is it a good show?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was the guy that plays Shazam. He was like a nerdy guy that works at like Best Buy.
Okay.
Like,
Oh,
for
really?
the Geek Squad. Kinda.
Not to become a fucking Hollywood actor. That must be nice. I mean, has he been in anything since though? Was he like a one?
He did that, and he did Shazam.
I mean, that's
he did a couple
good.
things, but like now he's like a super right wing actor, so then he doesn't get the work. He gets those
Oh no.
self-help. Yeah.
Sucks to be him. Yeah, no.
That's the bad part. Is like everyone like. If we're going to compare like sides here, like Republicans feel like they do have the funnier material.
Okay.
But Democrats have all like the good movies.
Okay. That's fair. I mean,
I'm just saying they have all the good movies and stuff because when Republicans make movies, they're very cheesy and they're
they
80s
don't make like war flicks.
They're 80s movies.
The Republicans don't make war flicks because there's been like a lot of good war movies out recently.
The last good Republican that made good, well,
I
will say Mel Gibson does make some bangers. Heartbreak Ridge was really good.
I never like really looked into like Democrat and Republican as far as filmmakers. I mean, like I just kind of assumed that Hollywood was a pretty left-leaning town.
Yeah, and there's a few people that are like, and they said that there's a lot of people who are conservative and just don't say shit. Like, everyone likes Kurt Russell, but no one knows where Kurt Russell stands on things.
Oh.
Kevin Costner, same deal. Everybody likes Kevin Costner, but we really don't know where he stands on things.
That's fair. But honestly, like, I don't think politics should matter when we're talking. You know what I'm saying? When we're talking about like acting, you know what I'm saying? Like, why are you getting political advice from an actor? Not that I mean, like, I want to be an actor. Not that there's anything wrong with actors, but I you know what I'm saying? I don't like all these celebrity endorsements like for politics.
Yeah, because it's like, well, you're going to be unaffected either way.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you got money.
Well, actually, it's even more than that. Like, they have a what's the word? They have like an incentive to maintain the status quo, right? Where like I do sales professionally, and I know anytime that like I'm incentivized, you kind of have to trust my opinion a little bit less.
Yeah.
Like I sold like I stood in like grocery stores and Giant Eagles and Walmarts and shit for all that for like 3 years, and I got so good at selling people energy that I started training other people to sell it. And, like, it wasn't a good product, Haas. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I would not sign up for it.
Oh, yeah. I've had a lot of customers.
But when people asked me about it, like, oh, absolutely, dude. Like, it's going to be great for you. Like, I wouldn't explicitly lie, but you couldn't trust my opinion because, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Same thing with, like, a car salesman. Yeah, they're going to tell me this car is going to fix all my problems because,
the best salesmen will actually tell you the truth. Those are the ones that they have repeat business. Because those people are like, hey, that guy was cool with me the first time I bought a car. I'll come back to him.
I agree with that. I mean, not on the energy thing, dude, because it was like a shitty product, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, if you're selling a shitty product, you kind of just have to, like, not talk about the parts of it that are shitty. So you get very good at, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, steering the conversation in ways that
I look for the people that are
bad.
I feel like when sales, you look for the people that suck.
Okay.
And those are the ones I try to sell to.
See, I don't agree. I mean, with energy sales, I don't want to say suck, but like,
I feel bad. I feel good about deceiving a bad person than I do deceiving a good person and still getting the sale. Because I'm like, yeah, I kind of set that guy up for failure. He's going to hate me in about 5 years.
I I don't think I have a super strong opinion on like.
But then there's people that I know that are complete scumbags.
Yeah.
And I know I can sell it to that guy.
Do you
I
sell?
have no problem. I used to.
Okay.
I used to work at Radio Shack back in the day.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Selling cell phones and stuff like that.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, there's some people I like. Like there's some people. It's like I know what they're coming in for. This is what you want, and they were like, "Why didn't you try to upcharge them and sell them this?" Because that's not what they need.
Yeah.
Give them what they need. They're more willing to trust you.
No, I agree with that. I think like the best way to be successful in sales is just like work really hard, but then also just like good, honest customer service. Give them like the white glove treatment. And then just be honest. And you know what I'm saying? Kind of like you said, like honesty gets you return customers. It also just like doesn't waste time. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to spend 2 hours trying to sell a Cadillac to someone who should be driving a Honda when like.
Yeah, because you're going to bring it back in a week and be like, this isn't what I wanted anyway.
Yep. And then like also then I'm going to miss the guy on, you know what I'm saying? The guy who comes on the lot to buy a Cadillac. Well, because I'm trying to convince this other guy to buy something that's not right for him. Like, I just think you help people as quickly as possible, giving them the best service. And, like, you do that more than everyone else, and you're absolutely going to win in sales. Unless you're selling a shitty product.
Yeah, because then you can't help a shitty product. They all suck.
Yeah.
Like, imagine trying to sell, like, the Wii U.
Is the Wii U a shitty product?
It was pretty shitty.
Okay.
It was kind of... It definitely didn't stand a chance against the PS4 and what was that, Xbox One?
I don't know. I feel like people who like Nintendo like really liked the Wii's though.
Yeah, I liked the first Wii.
Okay.
The Wii was awesome.
Okay.
Like Wii Sports, like
that was fun. I liked Wii Sports a lot.
They could have just expanded on other sports, like, but I could have played baseball and boxing and.
I like bowling and tennis. Those were my two go-tos. That shit was fun.
Yeah, tennis wasn't bad. And like you actually got a workout after you were done.
Yeah,
too.
you
Like
did.
that was the fun part.
Have you seen those new like the Oculus Rifts or whatever? Is that what they're called still? The headsets with like VR.
Yeah.
And they have the game coming at you where you get to like play Star Wars and cut the blocks or whatever.
I can't do those. I don't know why. I feel so stupid every time I try it.
That's fair.
I try to do it and I'm like
People say you get, I've only done it once or twice, but people say you get, like we were talking about a workout is why I brought that up. People say you get a great workout from that.
Oh yeah, there's one that's like a boxing workout on there. And it's pretty intense. Like you're boxing and you got to duck and weave and that makes you. The bad part is when you're doing VR is you might actually punch your TV.
Yeah, well, so that's what I actually just saw recently. I feel like they have like a little, it's like a weird like circular treadmill and you like hook your vest to it or something. So you kind of, you know what I'm saying? It like allows you to walk while being in the VR world and kind of still have some
They need
feedback.
that for Grand Theft Auto 5.
Dude, I don't know much
Or
about
6.
Grand Theft Auto, but isn't that about to be like a real world? Like people are going to start businesses in Grand Theft Auto 6 and like just run businesses.
So technically you run businesses now.
Okay.
It's just with 6, I mean...
Isn't there going to be like their own currency where people are like, yeah, this like legitimately could be like a crypto and you could like trade this for US dollars or whatever?
That I don't know. I wonder, I mean, wouldn't that be crazy?
That would be pretty
If people
wild.
just lived life like... Basically, you'll never have to... Ooh, I have to check the camera. Yeah, I'll finish this thought real quick.
Cool.
But yeah, it was like, imagine that. You have to like... Yeah, I lost it. It's gone. Timer interrupted it.
That's okay. We can take a break.
Yeah, we'll take a break and we'll come right back.
Cool. Oh, like what universe would we want?
Yeah, and we're back.
Perfect. I'm going to make a note of that, though.
Yeah, I think we were asking what end of the world society you'd think you'd do best in.
And did we decide if Star Wars counts or not?
I don't think Star Wars counts because technically it's beforehand. So
okay.
So
give me like 4 or 5, please.
Okay, I would say Mad Max counts.
Okay.
Because that's end of the world.
Okay.
Any type of zombie apocalypse. So
okay.
And you can pick any zombie scenario. Shaun
so
of the Dead, they coexist with the zombies.
I have the same plan for every zombie scenario.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's that good.
Sure you want to tell this? In case the downfall of society... I'm just I'm messing with you.
I'm going to share it with your viewers today only.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, get bit.
Ooh, good
Yeah,
point.
that's my strategy for any zombie apocalypse. I'm not going to be zombie number 1, but I will be number 2 all day.
I'll get bit.
Yeah, get bit.
Yeah.
Why not?
Or scratched.
Dude,
all
you
you need is a bite or a scratch sometimes.
Oh, is it a scratch?
And then Walking Dead, you're basically like...
Yeah, because
Walking Dead makes sense.
By the time there's like 60 zombies coming at one human, you're going to be devoured. Like, your life is absolutely over. Versus if you're the second guy, like... He's just biting. He's not eating all of me. I think that's like a really good strategy. Or maybe I'll wait till the zombie like just finished eating and I'll be like the last one in the group to turn. That way I'll be, you know what I'm saying? He'll be like full off eating other 4 people and he'll be like, you know what? I'm just going to give you a scratch. And I'll be like, now I'm a zombie.
See, that's the thing is I always like, you watch the old like George Romero ones.
Yeah.
And you're like, I could take these.
Yeah.
Because, like, they're very slow moving and stuff. But then my one buddy's like, yeah, but they get you with the numbers. And I was like, ooh, I didn't think of that.
Yep.
And then 28 Days Later comes out, and they introduce the fast-moving ones.
Oh.
Different ball game now.
Yeah.
Because now I'm in jeopardy because, hey, I don't run so good.
I feel like that's been the discussion, though, between, like... I mean, honestly, zombies and probably vampires, like all through. You know what I'm saying? They're always like, well, vampires a little bit less, but zombies 100%. They're like, are they fast? Vampires are they slow? Scary, like vampires are normally scary as fuck. But I feel like zombies in most movies, they kind of have to make like a decision. Like, is this really scary zombie or is this a slow zombie? And I feel like more and more recently they've been leaning towards fast zombies.
Well, yeah, you have to update with the times because it's not scary anymore.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean? Even like if you go look at, was it Land of the Dead? George Romero did that.
Did you know that was at Monroeville Mall?
Yeah,
that's cool. I didn't know that until kind of recently, but that's pretty sweet.
Oh yeah, you can. That's the problem with that mall, with malls shutting down. Like that was a huge deal.
Yep. So like right now it sucks. Pittsburgh has like a hospital that's I guess partially closed. I don't know if that's 100% true, but we have that prison that's closed. So we're getting all these like prison-y movies, but that is apparently set to be demolished like in the next couple of years.
Well, they might make a deal. I heard like they're trying to.
I hope so.
They're trying to make a deal because they're like, hey, the show got picked up for another season, and we kind of want to stay here. Like, how much we got to pay you guys? Let us film here.
That's sick. Yeah, I mean,
and
honestly,
if they overprice them, then they're going to say no, it's not worth it.
I hope they don't. It's nice. We've had like 4 Hollywood productions come through in the last like couple months versus like 0 for the last couple years.
So I've signed things, so I can't say what I did, but I may have worked in one of those Hollywood productions.
Yes, that's sick.
But I'm not on camera.
Okay.
Because I got picked with like 2 other guys.
Yeah.
And they said, hey, you guys are going to be safety guys in the scene. And we're like, oh, sweet, dope.
You look like a safety guy.
Yeah, and
I feel safe around you.
And I felt like I was like, wait a minute. I feel like I got a profile. And they're like, yeah, you got a safety guy look. And I was like, true. So they give me a vest, right? And I'm putting this safety vest on. The safety vest is a double XL, and I am a triple XL.
Okay.
You know, I've come down from 5X from COVID.
Well, that makes me feel even safer.
Yeah, and I'm borderline 2X.
Yeah.
But they give me a and usually like those those vests, they give a little bit.
Okay.
So they give me an XL. And I was like, I can try to make it work, but when I put it on, it's like a very mini vest. Like it looks like Aladdin's vest, and that's how it fits on me.
I was thinking like mini skirt, mini vest.
If I was able to suck in a little bit, I can zip that thing up.
Okay.
And when I zipped it up, the way the vest looked, it looked like a tactical vest.
Nice.
So I gave a backstory to my character that I'm the head guy in charge, and I take my power way too seriously. So I was walking around holding the vest like this the whole time, like I was a cop.
That's nice. So
and we never got used for the scene. They said, you stay here, we'll come get you when we need you. And we're like, all right, cool. So we're walking, raiding craft table. We got paid regardless. So we were just raiding the craft table and stuff and eating all the free food and just chilling and BSing with like some of the stunt guys. And
very
it was
cool.
I kept trying to steal this guy's hat because it was from a movie I like.
Oh, yeah.
He worked on it, and I was like, hey, how can one of those hats? He goes, no chance.
What movie was it?
I can't
you
say
remember?
because it's related to the movie that's being that I signed
That's
for.
fair. That's fair. That's fair. My so
I'll tell you off pod.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can't because if I say something, if they hear it,
you signed an NDA. We
Yeah,
don't want
and it's
that.
from
We don't
a-
want to get this podcast shut down with
Yeah,
some
and
corporate
it's-
bullshit.
yeah, and it's from a new studio,
Yeah,
so they, you never know how they work.
fair.
All
right, you don't give me too much information.
Yeah.
You don't want to give it away now.
But it was kind of it was crazy, and like the one guy kept hitting on these two girls and stuff, and he was trying to get a
You
date.
shouldn't be doing that on the. What were they?
Oh, they were on the bridge scene. So the thing is, I'm just gonna say it was filmed on one of the bridges.
Yeah.
And it's one of the hottest days. So they're out there just baking in the sun, and we're just chilling in the shade, still sweating. But we're like, thank God we ain't out there. I still got sun on me. I was like, I could use the sun.
Yeah.
But I got the tan actually.
nice day's
Everyone's
tan.
just dying.
But you had that mini vest tan line.
Oh yeah, and like the one girl, she came over, and she's just lobster red, and they're handing water to all of us. That was cool. They did make sure everybody was hydrated.
Yeah, they're normally pretty good about that.
Yeah, they were very. And then, but we're standing around as a group in these high vis vests.
Yeah.
The one location guy thinks we work for him, and we're just standing around. He's like, "Hey, who do you guys work for?" And we're like, "We're background actors." He's like, "Oh, never mind. I thought you were one of my guys." Because we were
funny.
about ready to get chewed out. Because he came up high energy, was ready to motherfuck somebody, and we were going to get it. And as soon as we said background actors, we were spared the wrath.
That's so funny. He's like where these new guys, they were playing Employee of the Month or whatever on
Yeah.
them. And then he saw you guys and almost went off.
It makes me mad because now I want to see a show of that.
Yeah.
I want to see a show of these background extras that show up in high vis vests, and they're like used for all these scenes. But every time they're there, they keep getting confused for somebody that works there,
Dude, low key.
and they never get on camera. And they say, "Okay, you're gonna get on camera, so we'll call you back."
What genre? I could make a short film about that.
It would just be a
What
comedy.
genre
it has to
would
be a
that-
comedy.
Okay, hell yeah.
Like
if I get comedy for
almost
one of the
like a Curb-
48s I do,
a
I'll
Curb
do
thing.
that. That'll be, I like that. I'll do it. Deal.
Yeah.
You just signed your first movie, sir.
Heck yeah, I'm down for
It's
that.
going to
I'm
be a
shooting
very
this.
short film, but
Just seen this. We just filmed an idea.
yeah.
The problem is it
Boom.
borderlines with the show Extras.
Okay.
Do you ever see Extras?
No, I haven't.
It's Ricky Gervais.
Okay. But you could just do a scene from it for a short movie. I mean, I'm not saying
Yeah.
we get it like adapted into a feature or like a series or
Yeah.
anything like that, but
And it's just you're standing around and getting the crew in trouble, and
Yeah.
you're like, "What? I'd work. Hey, what's that? You need me over there? All right," and then just leave.
that's like we'd have to figure out like, you know, what the 5 to 7 minute plot would be. It's like, is it just them fucking messing around then coming up and getting yelled at, or is there like, do they steal a walkie-talkie and like, you know, are messing with people on the walkie-talkie?
I think that's what it should be because there was some antics. Because, and the best part is there was already a diverse cast because it was me, one other guy from West Virginia, and then some dude in the city. And that dude in the city had no problem talking during the scenes. Like, had no problem. He would just out loud just be like, and if he's seen a girl, he'd be like, "Ooh, what up, girl? How you doing? What is your name? I'm just trying to network with people. Can I get your social media? Can
That's
I put?" And he's
hilarious.
smooth. Like,
Yeah.
he would get every girl's Instagram.
Okay.
And I was just like, I'm impressed because like he comes with the energy. You think he's flirting with you,
Yeah.
but he hits you with that. No, I'm just networking.
That makes
But what
sense.
he's doing is
Was he a good-looking dude though?
He was a good looking
Okay,
dude.
well that helps.
Tall, very nice tan.
Yeah. No, that helps. I mean, height is one of those
There's
things
a lot of
that
melanin.
like a universal. You know what I'm saying? Height's like a desirable trait in men universally.
Who I would cast as that guy if we couldn't get that man.
Who you would cast as the background
As the actor?
Okay, the actor for the background
Justin
actor.
Gilkey would be perfect for this person.
Oh,
Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Like it wasn't Justin Gilkey,
Yeah.
but Justin Gilkey could play this guy.
Okay.
If we gave Justin Gilkey hair,
It sounds like you're also saying a non-bald Justin Gilkey is something you find incredibly attractive. Is that a true statement, Haas?
no, I'm saying he could play the guy in the story.
But you said he was a good-looking guy.
It's a comedy. No one's pretty in comedies.
Okay.
Okay, you can't have pretty guys in comedies.
Way
You're
to
not
walk
allowed.
it back. Way to walk it back.
Yeah,
That's funny.
And that's where the joke is that I have to have a girlfriend because all my friends think I'm gay because I say and sometimes do a lot of gay shit.
That's funny though. No, I was leading you on that one a little bit. I
Just-
can't give you all the credit.
Just
but,
a little bit. So, what got you into comedy, man?
What got me
'Cause
into
you started
comedy,
this year, right?
Yeah, I did. So I did start. I'm probably like, it's got to be coming up on a year. I feel like I'm like 10, 11 months in, something like
Is
that.
this your first podcast?
Yes, I think so.
Heck yeah. I'm just stealing everyone's comics
Thank
first
you.
time
Thank you.
podcast cherry.
Yeah, I appreciate that. No, I love. I shouldn't say I love. That was strong. I enjoy podcasts. Like they seem like a good time. It seems like a creative medium, and that kind of leads me into the what got me into comedy question, right?
Yeah.
So I was kind of looking because I've been doing acting like on and off for probably not on and off, probably just more like off. But like I'd been doing any acting roles, either background or like lines that I could get my hands on.
I just did my first lead.
Oh, nice. What were you in?
I was in a student film.
Nice. Dude, I love a good student film. That's how I got started too. So I did background a couple times, and then I worked with some Point Park kids. Great. Like they're all fantastic filmakers. It's so cool.
Did you ever act before that?
Before
Like in high school and stuff? Like drama
no,
club?
I was playing sports in high school, my guy. Like none of my friends were
I
like, you
wanted
should
to
act.
do the drama club.
Yeah.
But it was the same time as a VOTech field trip. Like a vocational. I was going to VOTech school
Okay.
like in high school. And their trip was the same time that play was going on.
Damn.
I couldn't do both.
Where was their trip to?
Hershey, I think.
That's a sick field trip. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say the mill. Like I gotta go hang out
we
in the
won
mill
second
for a
place
day.
in states for. Dude, you ready for
Let's
this one?
go.
Ready for this? To tell
Yeah.
you what my lot in high school was?
Okay, lay it on me.
Quiz bowl.
Quiz bowl. So like trivia.
Questionnaires. Yeah.
So are you like a killer at trivia? Are you about to
good
join
about-
my trivia team?
I still remember this question coming up. What is this word that was used in the 1800s to describe like a drifter or something like that? It's like, but also is used in a modern term today.
What is it?
To refer to as a friend. Buzzed in, had to wait for them to acknowledge. Team 2. And I said, dude.
Really?
It's dude.
Huh.
The term, and I said, and they're like,
That's
how
a fun
the
fact.
fuck do you know that?
That's a fun fact.
I said, you never watched Rio Bravo with John Wayne? Dean Martin's character is named Dude.
I don't think I've watched it,
Yeah,
but that is
they
cool
call
to
him
know.
Dude throughout the whole movie, so it's like, oh, Dude Ranch.
Oh,
That's
that
where that
does
came
make
from.
sense, huh? Ain't that something?
That's the kind of useless shit I know.
No, that's sick. Like,
Doesn't get
I
me
love,
any props at work. I don't get free shit at work for it,
but
but I know that.
I like it, dude. I'm a big fun fact guy. I don't have any off the top of my head now, but like if I can think of any, I'll definitely share them with you. But wait, let's circle back. So what got me into comedy? I wanted like a creative outlook on, or like outlet, honestly. I was like, what's the way? Like I've always enjoyed comedy a lot. I haven't always been like the biggest fan though, you know what I'm saying? Like people who ask me who my favorite comics are, and I'm like I definitely watch some comedy,
Right,
but
I
I would
watch-
not say that I was like the guy who studied that growing up and like always wanted to do it, and finally
I liked comedy. My favorite was Robin Williams growing up.
Okay, Robin Williams is funny.
You know, I liked him. And me and my buddy would watch some stand up, and that's where I got into Pryor,
Yeah.
Carlin. I got into the greats. But there's a lot of guys from like the '80s, and like I've seen.
Carlin's like my favorite.
Like I like Sam Kinison,
I don't know.
Dangerfield. Like those are real raunchy guys.
Yeah.
But then I remember when Blue Collar Tour was a big thing. So it's like I like comedy. But now it's like, but I'm not enough that I can study it as an art craft and like find the comedian. Like, you know, I like Norm.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love Norm Macdonald? Yeah, but
I don't know most of those people. I love George Carlin though.
oh really?
Yeah, I mean, I knew some of them for sure. I love like George Carlin though; he's fantastic. I like Dave Chappelle, and I feel like who do you think are the 3 funniest comics like now? Kind of like young
Right
guy.
now?
Yeah.
Shane Gillis would be one.
Okay.
I would have said Tom Segura before, but no. Bill Burr.
Bill Burr is hilarious. That's true. I was thinking not as big as Bill Burr though. To be honest, I would consider Bill Burr. You know what I'm saying? Like we know he's a killer. Is he? I guess
Sam
he
Talent.
probably does have.
Okay, then I'll put Sam Talent up there.
Okay.
I like Sam Talent. Like he should have had more people at the improv show because Pittsburgh does not like to show up to stuff.
Yeah, that is true. Well, they hate to.
He was
pre-sell
just
too. What's
on
his name?
Rogan.
Sam
Talent. He's like a big guy.
Okay.
Like a bigger guy. He has glasses.
No, I wish I would have.
He has a good book you should probably check out.
What is it?
I've been told to read this
love a
book
good
and I
book.
haven't. Sorry, Sam. It's called Running the Light.
Okay.
It's about touring, being a touring stand-up comic.
Oh, that's probably sick.
Yeah, and they said it's really good.
It's like a biography. Does it talk about how to write jokes at all? Because that's something I need to learn how to do.
Okay, well, there actually is a good book. It's called, I think it's called How to Write Stand-Up, and it's an audio book on Spotify.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
That's helpful. Yes, please do send that over. I got to learn to write punchlines, which I will. Promise you.
Let's see. How to Write Stand-Up. Oh, it's called Mastering the Art of Stand-Up, or Mastering Stand-Up, the Complete Guide to Becoming a Successful Comedian.
Can you send that to me? Is that like a... Can we touch phones in it? No.
Let's see. Copy link.
Oh, you fucking rock, Hoss. Thank
Oh,
you
yeah,
so
for
much.
sure. Dude, everybody needs a... If you can help people any way, like I said, when I first started doing comedy, man, like, people don't know if you're going to stick it out or not, so they won't.
Oh, is that why people don't like to help new comics?
Because it's only when you first start, and it sounds bad, but there is a few good people out there that will show you the courtesy.
Yeah.
Like, oh, hey, you're new. Like, they'll be just friendly with you. They won't be close with you, but they'll be friendly to you. And then finally, eventually you end up getting... Once they know you're sticking around, it's like, oh, hey, what's up?
That's cool. I felt like everyone was pretty, like, helpful or friendly for the most part.
And I'm not saying that's a knock, really.
Yeah.
I think that's just when you start into an art scene.
No, that makes sense.
I've never been part of an art scene, so
Yeah.
everything was weird to me at first.
I do think of stand-up as art in a lot of ways, but I had never thought of the stand-up scene like the art scene.
It is. It's the same thing.
That's
like,
fair.
What happens in the comedy scene is almost the same thing that happens in the music scene, in the acting world, all that stuff. It's all the same things. Photography, same deal. It's the same type of stuff.
Okay.
It's what I've kind of gathered, because I was talking to, because I knew like musicians, like from like around me, and I'd have them tell me stories like, about like things that happen in the music industry, and then you to hear comedians, and it's the same stuff.
Huh.
And then the same things that happen on the open mic levels, it's the same stuff that happens with the famous guys, just bigger.
Oh,
It's
damn.
crazy.
That is pretty wild. Well, luckily, I am allergic to drama and avoid it like the plague.
Same.
Yeah. So that works out well.
I like hearing about it, but I like also being a way that I don't have to worry about it.
Yes, that's fair. That is fair. I would agree with that all day long. But no.
So yeah, you listen to a lot of podcasts. So like, what podcast got you into
comedy? Oh, I don't think really podcasts got me into it. It's just kind of like I was looking for like a creative outlet. And I thought comedy was a good one. It's something I could do, like, not on my own, obviously, because you need open mics, but like any night of the week except Saturdays, I could just like choose to go to a mic and just like work on the craft.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like, I think mostly what got me into it. I just wanted like a way to like A, be creative, and B, like, I never loved being the center of attention as a kid, and I kind of feel like things that we're afraid of are like good things. You know what I'm saying? They're like areas for growth, and are like if you're afraid of something, there's a reason for it, and by kind of conquering that fear or whatever, you'll like become a better version of yourself.
I was always wanted to be the class clown.
Yeah.
But I was always kind of held back on how far I could go with things.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Because like I had like very like parents that were very strict.
Yeah, you were saying that you were raised religious, which we're going to talk about later.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that. So I had very strict parents. So like they were like, you have to be good when you go to school and stuff.
Yeah.
But then you have that like in the back of your mind, I have to say this in class. Like, say it, it's funny.
Yeah.
Say it, it's funny.
See, I liked telling jokes in class, but I would not say that, like, you know what I'm saying? I felt like that was different. Like, I was good in a group of people, but I did not like giving speeches, for example. Like, I was fine telling jokes in class. I thought I was funny, but I didn't like necessarily being like the center of attention.
Well, yeah, public speaking sucks.
Yeah.
That's just a fear that we all have. But I always found like those speeches were fun. Like, I remember taking a community college. I did a public speaking course, and we basically just did a stand-up bit.
Oh, really?
That's
sick.
what it felt like.
Yeah.
It was like because I was trying to like put funnier stuff in my speeches.
Yeah. What did you give a speech on? Do you remember?
I have no idea.
That's fair.
It's been too long.
Yeah. Stern but fair. Stern but fair.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's why I got into comedy. That answers the question, right? That was like, woo, 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 woo. We're jumping around.
We're fine. We do that. That's what happens when you have ADHD.
Yes. Exactly.
I blame the iPhone. The iPhone has made this basically what we did just now was how we make fun of people in the 1930s when they talk. Hey, Sally, what did you do over there? And they cover 50 different topics in 5 minutes. Yeah.
And that was right after they introduced the TV or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it was weird. The reason they said they had to speak that way is because of how sound was recorded.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah.
Huh.
If not, that's just a false fact I got from Rogan.
Well, that's pretty wild if it's true. We don't have the fact checker.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm quite prepared to say if it's on Rogan it's true. But
have you seen the reel I put out today?
No, I did not. Oh, go ahead.
This is like I try to find different ways to advertise. So I found memes always do the best.
Yeah.
So it says when someone catches a mistake in my editing.
That's pretty funny. I like that.
Yeah. Because I just put the caption in. I'm a one-man operation. But that's literally what it is. Every time I do something, like, I know some people said that in, like, some of the earlier episodes, the sound will go, like, one person you hear on the left side of your car, one person you hear on the right side of your car.
Yeah.
Instead of it coming out mono. And I'm like, I don't know what any of that shit you explained to me was. Because I don't know anything about sound. The camera's new. Like, I'm still trying to figure out how to make the camera come in clearer.
Yeah.
Like,
I want to get a camera. I don't have one currently. I have my phone, but I want a real camera. I want one that I can, like, do videos with. And, like, you know what I'm saying? For comedy, I want to use it for comedy and videos. And have it so that anytime, I mean, maybe not every open mic, but like any shows I can just have recorded and then like release that content. Cause I feel like we were talking about like production value here has gone up since you're a one-man show and you've been like learning more. I feel like that's one thing that would like,
and now
help.
It's like my production value mostly goes to CapCut and Photoshop.
Yeah.
Because CapCut helps me cut the posters Photoshop helps me make the posters.
Okay.
So I pay for the app version of that monthly, and then I pay for CapCut because CapCut has the same that helps me edit the clips.
Yeah,
and stuff.
that makes sense.
It generates the captions and.
You do it on your laptop?
I do most of them. I'm doing it on my phone.
Okay, cool.
So it's I have a bunch of stuff. Like my phone needs to be organized. I need to like go through and organize it.
I just did that with my jokes, whereas before I just had one folder with like 90 different, you know what I'm saying? Some like new jokes, some like developing jokes, and some hashed out jokes. I was like, this isn't efficient. I need to I
need to have mine on paper because one day I know for a fact that thing is going to shit the bed.
Yeah,
and I'm going to be screwed.
So when you write jokes, do you like write them out for the most part, or do you... Tell me about your process a little bit.
So, I'll show you my notes.
Since I'm a new comic.
So, here's how I do mine. Because I would just, I would have an idea for something.
Yeah.
Write it down the topic. And then I just type in words.
Yeah.
And then, so when I go up to the mic, I have a bullet list of what I want to talk about. And I can just go from there.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people have told me.
But I need to break it sometimes line by line.
Yeah.
With bullet points, and then once I get that to know that subject pretty well and know how it goes, then I just write down the topic. I can go straight from there.
Okay, and then do you write out like punchlines?
No.
Okay.
I usually have a keyword, and that makes me think of what I said that was funny.
Interesting.
Yeah, a mind that's full of fresh airs.
I like write more, and I feel like I need to write less.
No. You always gotta keep writing.
I mean, as far as writing, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I write the whole joke out and then turn it into bullet points.
I thought you were saying like you just write a lot of.
No. I don't write nearly enough new material, but when I write, I think I write too much of the joke out, if that makes sense.
When I realize is like you don't start getting the comedic mind yet until about 2. It seems like.
Damn, how long have you been doing stand up?
2 years.
Okay.
Like I want to say I'm trying to say 2 years, but I think it kicked in for about a 1 for me, which is like it was like my first year in comedy when I started seeing things, and immediately you could think of something funny.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have that. Definitely don't have that.
Yeah.
I feel like I do sometimes in conversations, but like not on the stage. I'm actually really bad at like one-liners and stuff. Just all comedy, man. It's tough. It's
and
difficult.
then like Scriva said, he's like, yeah, because it's about like, you start noticing because and more you keep doing it, the faster it gets.
Yeah.
And the better it gets.
Okay.
He goes, but you can take classes that actually can teach you that way faster.
Yeah, I am gonna take some classes. I'm excited for that.
Like Bottle Rocket has that comedy troupe that's coming.
Yep.
And that came from Amy Poehler.
Yep. Do you know who's teaching that?
I have no idea.
Okay.
There's a guy I met at Mario's the other night, and apparently he teaches comedy, and I wanted to get him on the podcast.
Is it Loaf?
Yes.
Yeah, Loaf's a cool dude. I bet. I
didn't
don't want to
get a
put
chance
words
to
in his
talk to
mouth,
him.
but like he's a really cool guy. Oh, have you not talked to Loaf too much?
No, I
He's
just
so
met him
cool, dude.
that
So
night.
He's like an old head in comedy where I feel like he's been doing it for like 20, 30 years or something. But I think he said he took like a 5-year hiatus and like just freshly came back. Cause like the first time I met him, you know what I'm saying? He was like this silly old, not silly, but like, you know, kind of old man at the bar hanging out.
That's what I was
thinking.
thinking.
I was like, oh, like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like even even hosts have been like, you know, Loaf here proving no one can start comedy like too late because like he's an older dude. But yeah, I made that mistake is why I say that one time at an open mic. I was like, oh, like, is this your first time? And he was like, you know, kind of laughed. He was like, no. But no, he's awesome. He gives like fantastic
when I watched him
advice.
Go up, it was like watching like someone from the 80s do it.
Yeah, he just knows, dude.
But
like,
it just, I'm not saying it was a knock, but you could see like, oh, this man is like a legend.
Yeah.
And he's just dusting, he's shaking the dust off.
Exactly. I'm so excited to like see Loaf's more of his stuff.
Yeah, I was like, this guy just seems like he would have some interesting stories.
The way he interacts with the crowd is like, I think, nice. I'm a big Loaf fan. I hope he like does a bunch in comedy in 2025.
Ooh,
shout out
right there. We had gotta check the camera again. Be right back. Question: what were we talking about? I'm trying to think what we were talking about when we were coming from the break. But we had things we wanted to talk about. I think we were talking about either short film or dreams.
I think we were about to get into dreams.
Yeah.
So that is my question to you. What is your weird recurring dream? And I'll go first if you want.
Ooh. It's weird. I haven't had a dream in so long.
Yeah, same. That's like I don't dream very much, and I'm like working on fixing that. There's like things you can do to help yourself dream more.
I had to take these glasses off for effect.
Oh,
because they fit over top of mine. Every time I do it, I feel like I'm in a what is that, like Naked Gun movie?
Yeah.
Like, you know, scene where they take the glasses off and they still have their glasses on.
Nice.
That new one looks good though.
I don't think I've actually haven't seen that movie.
Time for the next camera break. Yeah. Gonna show the trailer. Yeah, we were talking about dreams, reoccurring dreams.
Yes.
I used to have one, and this sounds so dumb. I used to have it when I was a kid, and it was like you're being chased.
Okay.
All the time, and every time I thought I was like I'd come around the corner, I'd run into it, like this face.
Yeah.
Like it was like a face in flames or whatever.
Okay.
And I remember the start of the dream would always have, and it's the dumbest thing, the talking tree from Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
The one that threw the apples.
Cool.
At Dorothy for picking the apples and stuff.
Yeah.
That guy. It always had like that kind of image, and that was like the reoccurring dream. And it was like I was in a dark maze labyrinth and getting chased, and they were always like right behind you.
So it was like nighttime. You were being chased through like a corn maze or something.
It was some sort of maze, like almost like a head. Honestly, I feel like I combined it, the Wizard of Oz and the episode of Batman when the Riddler traps him in the maze.
I was gonna say that sounds like some Harry Potter
With mixed in
Goblet
with
of
some
Fire
Men in Black
shit. Yeah.
stuff.
Oh,
Men in Black
Black's
used to
good.
freak me out with like the Edgar face.
Yeah.
Yeah, they used to freak me out.
That's I wonder what all that, because I'm a big, like, I think dreams mean things. I'm a big what is that, like, Young and Polly guy.
You have a crystal,
and like
don't you?
synchronalities. Yeah, I do have a bunch of crystals.
And
I like rocks.
And they're not
trains.
kyber crystals.
No, they're not kyber crystals. They're I do have a crystal collection. That is true. I should have brought one. I could have had show and tell. I was gonna say I might have had one in my backpack, but I don't. I took it out.
It just glows randomly.
Yes, only when orcs are around.
Hey, Superman's a crystal guy.
That's true. Hey, that's true. Which I am. I have a joke that I'm Jesus every year for Halloween, which is not true. I've never actually been Jesus for Halloween.
Nah, you're nerd Jesus.
Yeah, I should be. Like, I am gonna go as Jesus for Halloween now. I think it would be fun, and I could do some jokes dressed up as Jesus for content, which would be double fun. But I go as Superman every year because it's the requirements are it's clothes I already have, comfortable / warm, and like, yeah, that's really it.
And you still look kind of suave because you got the suit on, but you just got a Superman shirt underneath.
And it's nice too because if you go into like a bar and it's not a heavy dress up crowd, you don't feel like as much of an idiot. I remember one time, me and the boys, we always try and convince my friend like things are wrong or to buy dumb shit. So there's like a double, right? Me and my two friends used to always go Black Friday shopping together, and we would try and convince our one friend to buy dumb shit every year. So at one year, we convinced him to buy a Wookiee costume, like a onesie, like a Wookiee onesie towel. You know, kind of cool, but granted, like a ridiculous purchase.
Yeah, you still look like a giant teddy bear.
Yep. So probably the following year, we were going to some Halloween party bar, but like, you know what I'm saying, where people can be dressed up, you don't know.
Yeah.
I went as a lumberjack. That's my other costume I always go as because, again, just a shirt that I have and jeans and boots. I have all of that in my closet, you know, just as regular clothing. But we convinced him to go as like a Wookiee, as Chewbacca. So he showed up in like a Chewbacca onesie, and I showed up in my lumberjack fit, and no one in the bar was dressed up. And that was hilarious.
That's when you just like, that's the grizzly that's chasing me.
Yeah. That'd be good.
Yeah. You never know. Like, I tell you what used to be cool. I don't know. How old are you?
32.
Okay, so we're the same age. Remember when Southside used to be fun.
Dude, oh my God, I talk about that all the time.
Like Diesel,
yep.
Sky Bar.
When we
Rowdy
were like,
Buck I used to go to.
When we were like 20 to probably 22, 23, Southside was the absolute place. It
I
was
gonna
switching.
say 22 to 26.
What's the end of
25
Carson
is.
Street? It's like that separate place almost.
Tiki
Station
Lounge?
Square. Station
Yeah,
Square.
yeah.
Station Square was the place to be before Southside, and then I feel like when we were like 21, 22, you know what I'm saying? Like I remember
more up the south side.
I remember being 21 and going to Station Square like a couple times, you know, a month or every couple months or whatever, versus like as I aged a little bit, it was just always the south side.
Now there's like one bar down there.
Well, there's actually there's like a lot of bars, but it's just not the
same. They shut down Hard Rock.
Yeah.
They shut down, I think Texas Day Brazil was shutting down.
I didn't know that was a place down there.
Oh. Yeah, it was like all you can eat meat and stuff.
I know I just didn't know there was one in the south side. That sucks. I know there's one in like the cheesecake.
Did I ever start the timer?
I don't know.
I didn't because the phone's over there.
There's the links in the south side though. Shameless plug. We do an open mic there. Is this running? Okay, yeah, we do an open mic there every Thursday. So please come out, laugh, tell jokes, have a good time. We have drink specials. It's fantastic. But no, like the Lynx is there, Mario's there. Bird on the Run is like a bar / restaurant that actually has gas food. I think that would be a great spot for an open mic because like there's garage doors up front so people could see you doing comedy and kind of listen on the street. Someone has that
covered. Someone might have that covered.
Do they? Excellent. I would love to see that.
Someone we know, I think, has that covered.
Do you know what night of the week they're going to start?
Oh, I don't know about it as a mic.
Or just like a location.
It could be
shows.
Okay. It could be either one.
A mic would be sweet there. I think that would be fantastic.
Someone came to me with a really good idea.
Okay.
And I haven't talked to the guru, let's put it that way, about it.
I don't know who the guru is, but okay.
Oh, we know who the guru is.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah, we know the guru. It's just you don't know who I'm talking about.
Okay.
Because I do those. I like to do those vague things, and people are like, "Dude, just say it. No one cares." Like,
Okay.
But I need to talk to him about it because it was a really cool idea, and I was like, I think we could get this to work.
Yeah.
If we found the right place to do it at. As if we do it well, and you actually advertise it and push it, it could actually be successful.
What is it that you want to get done?
It'd be a show.
Okay.
But it would be like you could almost do like a recurring show.
Yeah. So while we're on the subject of open mics, I've been running the links. It's been going. I mean, it's not, you know what I'm saying? I want it to be bigger. I want more of an audience. We might have touched on that earlier.
Yeah.
What we're going to try and do, I think, to address that problem, someone has offered to put up some money, which helps, obviously. So I think we're going to switch it from an open mic, and I want your opinion on this is, mostly why I'm sharing it now. But I might have talked to you about this already.
No,
I don't
haven't.
think so. Okay, cool. So I want to do, 4 Thursdays a month, 4 different things, 1 regular open mic, 1 heckle mic, 1 riff mic, and then 1 like maybe showcase or something where, we pick 4 or 5 comics, they get like 10 minutes and just get to like
cool.
work
Yeah.
out like longer material.
Yeah.
So that way it's, something different every week. We'll do giveaways for the heckle mic and the riff mic. So we have 1 for the audience for the best heckle and 1 for the, the comics with best riff. And I think Eddie's going to be the joke master on the riffs. Hopefully he kind of said he would. So that would help. Cause like Eddie is a big, you know what I'm saying? I call him the king of Southside. He knows like a bunch of people down there, has a bunch of friends that come out to the bar, but not for comedy. But I think getting him involved would be like, oh, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Now it's Eddie's show.
It feels like, and it's, if you're going to build a team to promote stuff, you have to have a people guy.
Yeah.
You have to have that guy that can draw people and stuff. Like there's certain people like, that do the podcast.
Yep.
There's always more listens there. So it's like, yeah, that guy can come on whenever he wants because every time he comes on, more people listen.
Everyone wants to hear what he has to say. That makes sense.
And it helps push things. And it's like, okay, for him, it's like also I like talking to them.
Yeah. So speaking of mics also, I want to start doing like content creation around and like use it to promote the mics also. Like, oh, if you thought this was fun or funny, come out to the mics, whatever nights a week. But what I think we were talking about dreams, and I am going to share my weird childhood recurring dream with you in a little bit. But I think just doing content around dreams, I'm going to start doing this at open mics too, as like crowd work. I need to write a joke to get out of it, but just doing crowd work around dreams. Because anyone, like I've done so many, just hanging out with friends at like bachelor parties or whatever. I seem to do it a lot because it worked so well once. You just, ask the group what your weird recurring dream is, and people have them and they share them. And like, you know what I'm saying? It's always weird shit that it's easy to make jokes about.
Oh, yeah. Everybody has a weird dream that's like.
So I'm going to start doing that and then also do that for content creation, just like down in the South Side, Friday, Saturday night when everyone's out drinking, asking people on camera what their weird recurring dream is and kind of do crowd work to it. And then at the end, plug the open mics and then hopefully start getting like, people who live in the South Side, drink in the South Side to start coming to my Links open mic where we can do cash giveaways 2 months.
The problem is that, and this is just me, it's like Southside is so sketchy anymore.
Yeah, it's
I
not
think that's
that
what,
bad,
I think that's
though.
why
Dude, it's not
hard
that bad. The South Side's fine. I disagree
I haven't had any
wholeheartedly.
issues. I haven't had any issues.
I mean, like, is it the ritziest neck of the woods? No.
No, it just gets a bad rap.
Yes, it has a terrible rap, and, partially for good reason. But honestly, like, the South Side's nice. I don't have anything against the South Side.
Most of the nights that
that's what
I've
I'm saying.
done things down there, I haven't seen anything.
That's what I'm there, 3 nights a week doing stand-up, and it's not. Yeah, there's 1 or 2 crazy people. That's fine. But for the most part, there was that one dude who banged on the glass. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember
that. Wanted
that.
to, like, fight a group of 6 of us.
Yeah,
he
that
was
a
like,
weird one.
Yeah, that one was a little bit sketchy. But, like, as long as you don't engage with crazy, it tends to leave you alone. So I think it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, but you're going to have that in any city.
Yeah.
It's just like, come on, people. Like, you guys want to have something cool in your area, or do you want to just keep acting up and ruining it?
Yeah, well, the other problem...
Because what they're going to end up doing is they're going to start... What they'll do is they'll put a curfew down.
So, the other thing, kind of along those lines, a guy I know who's been a bar owner in the city for like 20 years or whatever, he kind of said, I was talking to him one night, and he was telling me about how the neighborhoods switch, and it's because a neighborhood gets really popular, everyone wants to go there, it's fun, And then the drug dealers want to go there because, you know, that's where all the money is. That's where everyone's drinking, having a good time. That tends to be where people, you know, want to have a little bit more fun. And then, you know, turf problems develop or whatever, conflicts ensue, and then, you know, it gets shot up, which has happened to the South Side a bunch. There's been too many shootings there. And then, you know, no one wants to go there anymore. And that's kind of like the cycle where he was saying, you know, the Strip way back in the day used to be the place to go. Then they started having shootings and issues like that. And then the Strip turned into, you know, what it was for most of our lives, which was a dope place to go on the weekends and get like some Italian food. You know, shout out La Prima, best coffee in the city.
Yeah, so many good restaurants don't exist anymore after COVID.
Yep, that's also true. So much stuff shut down.
COVID killed a lot of cool stuff that was in that town, like especially in Southside.
Wait, I was thinking I would like, as I was driving over here, I was trying to think of funny, like almost gimmicky, but just funny things I could do on the podcast. And I wanted to just bring a bunch of branded stuff like Coke, Pepsi, chips, and just the whole time be like pulling something out and be like, yes, like sponsor us, Coke. Or dude, that would actually be fun to do. You could just get a bunch of branded stuff and like put something on the table until someone makes a joke about it.
So
and
technically
then
we have
switch
this hat here, which I'm always waiting for people to notice.
I mean, I did. I feel like you mentioned this hat to me. This is pretty wild. I feel like this would. Oh, Big Hoss Tailgate. Where did you order this and get it?
So it's a company called Cowboy Snapback.
Yeah.
And it's a trucker hat.
I mean, this has to be a one of one unique product.
It's 100%.
Yeah, this is a wild thing.
And they corner the market on it because like they're the only ones that's doing that.
I don't know how to feel about that, honestly.
Yeah. So, and I even asked them first because I was like, listen, there's already a hat company I do like, and that says Cowboy Revolution Apparel.
Yeah.
I like it because it says cowboy hat. It's cool. And it was like, all their hats are pretty dope.
Yeah.
So I was like, I like that. I'm kind of a Western fan anyway, so yeah, I'll rock that. And then this is like the best of both worlds because this is like a party hat.
Yeah,
this is for concerts.
It is.
Whatever.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. I can see someone rocking that with like, you know.
And if you use my promo codes, you get 15% off.
Oh my God, 15% off! You heard it here, folks. Get yourselves over to.
That was not a planned commercial at all, but I like how that naturally works. Like, but yeah, I do have a promo code for this one. It's like Big Hoss. Yeah, it's just Big Hoss, 15% off.
What's the website?
Cowboy Snapback.
Cowboysnapbacks.com.
Just Google it.
/ Big Hoss for your promo code.
And I use them in every link in the bio.
Every link
people can jump into it, click.
Jump in those links, guys.
And then this one's Big Hoss 15.
Okay.
And you get 15% off these hats.
Excellent.
They have more styles and stuff too, but these are the ones I'm like, listen, I can't buy hats.
I do like the rope hat. I'm a big fan of that.
Oh yeah.
That is cool.
That's the only thing that I think that's missing is it needs the rope. If they had a rope that goes around it.
Or like a feather in it. Ooh. You could get a feather yourself. That'll be
start getting bands and stuff.
Yeah. I like that a lot.
I met a guy, it was in they played at the Hard Rock, and this guy's he was like I think he won The Voice one year. And the guy in his band, his drummer, had a rattlesnake band. And the head was like right here on his hat.
Oh, dude,
like,
that guy's like a Jafar looking mother, right? Is that the right? Like Jafar from he has a snake on his hat. Is that who I'm thinking of from Aladdin?
Kinda.
That's Jafar, right? Yeah, that's a good reference, guys.
My favorite Disney movie.
Oh, is it Aladdin? Aladdin's, I would say, my favorite Disney movie growing up too. Yeah, that movie actually was low key incredible.
And then he tells the
Jasmine too. Oh my God!
But the bad thing is, we're gonna talk about the movie one, like live action movie.
Oh, I haven't seen that
because the cartoon one, she's like, that's what it said. All those Disney princesses are super young.
So yeah,
they're all like 16.
We had like a draft of like hottest animated character, like Disney or otherwise. It got weird.
Yeah, it gets weird. It always gets weird real quick.
Yep.
That's what I said, but. As soon as you say that you're like if you're a comic book person, like if you go to Comic Cons and stuff, oh no, it's totally fine there.
Okay,
it's weird.
Excellent. I hope that's
if you were a furry person, it's not weird.
I'm not.
It's like you guys are allowed to do that.
That makes sense.
You can do this.
Speaking of furries, that's like it's not bestiality because they're humans, obviously. But a fun fact I like. I don't know. It's fine. In the Middle Ages, that you lost a finger for having intercourse with a goat and a hand for stealing a goat, right? So in like Welsh or like Scotland or somewhere in Europe, there's a lot of instances of people having intercourse with goats on like the law books, because when you got caught stealing a goat, you know what I'm saying? You're either going to use your hand or your finger, and it's like, what were you doing with that goat?
I was fucking it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what were you doing with that goat?
And they're like, which finger are you taking? Please take the little one.
Yeah, exactly.
I need this one for
exactly
so I can do it again.
Yeah. But yeah, that's like my favorite fun fact. I'm pretty sure that'll stand up to the actual history. But wait, so I have to tell you my weird recurring dream, and then we'll move on to another subject.
Less goat fucky.
Yeah, a less bestiality ridden subject.
Yeah.
In my dreams, I was in my parents' basement, right? Which is mostly underground. But I'd always dreamed that like tigers were clawing through the walls and like getting me. And like a tiger, you know what I'm saying? I'd like hide in a corner. A tiger would claw through the wall, get in. I'd run away from it. It would like be chasing me around the basement. Then somehow it would like disappear. And I'd be like, all right, like we're good. Like another tiger can't come through the wall. And then another, you know what I'm saying? I was a dumb kid. I kept hiding in walls from the tigers that were somehow digging through the ground.
So it makes you wonder.
Yeah.
What? Because like people are like, you shouldn't like look into the meaning of dreams and stuff.
Oh, I disagree with that.
But then a part of me is like,
Carl Jung guy.
Does this mean like?
I think dreams are like part of the collective unconscious and like a way of our unconscious minds telling our conscious minds like shit about ourselves. So I'm a big dream guy. Yes.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering like, because if it's your body processing trauma, or if it's like, hey, you're very anxious about stuff, so this is your anxiety.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you what.
So I think it's like messages to like low key. I think it's messages to help us in life. You know what I'm saying? I think if you're dealing with the situation in life and you need like guidance on it, like your dream's not going to be the exact situation, but I think elements of like your conscious life or like, you know, your recommended life path or whatever filter into your body, like into this reality through dreams and stuff.
Well, I had a mushroom trip I tried to sleep through.
Oh.
Not the move.
No.
Because my dreams were literally like I was scrolling through Instagram reels.
Oh.
Like you'd be doing it, and the dream would be going on. You'd be in the dream, and then all of a sudden everybody would do this. Turn and look right at you. And I was like, bah! And like I'd go like this. And almost like I was going like this. Gah! And it was almost like I was looking at my phone watching other people's dreams.
What?
And then they would stop and see me looking at them, and I had to scroll to look at the next dream.
That's wild. That's a cool dream.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of creepy.
It's creepy, right?
Yeah.
And then I had dreams the shadow people were trying to get me.
I don't know of the shadow people.
It's freaky, right?
Yeah,
I was
that is
curled up
freaky.
in a ball hiding underneath like the cover of this pickup truck I was in, sleeping in.
Damn.
I was curled up. I was like freaked out.
That sounds
I was like,
spooky.
I know. I kept just telling myself, I'm just tripping. It's not real.
Yep.
I'm just tripping. It's not real.
That does sound spooky. I'm not going to lie to you.
Right?
Wait, I had a question. Oh, we were going to talk about, like not night terrors, but, sleep paralysis. You said you've had it. I've had a couple friends tell me that, like, they've had it and, like, seen, you know, the entity or whatever standing over them.
I've never seen, like, anything there. But, and I've actually had people explain it. They're like, oh, no, what it is your brain is awake, but your body's not.
Okay.
But I remember the one... I think it happened. I was playing a video game or something, but it was some kind of video game that was kind of little like had like mystical stuff to it, or it might have been just a hyper violent. I think it might have been Gun for the PS2.
Okay.
I remember being like it was a hyper violent game or whatever, and I'd have like these messed up dreams. Well, then one time I had that happen, the sleep paralysis thing.
Yeah.
And like you could almost feel like something like sitting on like looking at your face, and I was afraid to open my eyes.
Yeah.
Because it's like if I open my eyes and something's staring at me, like, but that might be just our brain trying to think that someone's there.
I mean, I've had 2 or 3 friends tell me like very similar things in like huge detail. And what the one actually said, he's like, yeah, it's happened to me a couple times. And what I do is I pray, and like the sense of like fear and everything goes away. Cause that's what they all say. Like they can't move profound sense of fear. They can open their eyes and kind of look around the room, but not that much. But just like terror, the feeling that something's watching you. And then like some of them have seen like, something standing over them or whatever. I think one or two said that. And I've never had this. I've actually never had like a paranormal or like a haunted experience, and I really want to.
I don't.
So if any entities are watching this recording, Haas and I would love to have a genuine haunted experience.
I swear to
you
God,
heard
man,
it here
if
first.
you make some shit fly across my room right
Haas
now,
and
I am going to shit my pants. Don't you start your shit. I will tell you this right now. I will fight you. I'll burn the house down and roll the fuck out. I listen, I don't fuck with that shit. I grew up like super religious.
That's okay.
I was telling you that off pod, but like, dude, I don't fuck with any of that.
Okay.
Like, I don't watch any horror movies like that. Like, even if it starts leaning that way, I didn't watch Agatha, and I'm a Marvel fan.
Yeah.
By the wall, I'm a Marvel fan. There's Wolverine claws. I could not watch. Like, I was like, I can't get down with it. It freaks me out.
Yeah.
Like, but then I watched Salem's Lot with the vampires, and I was like, I can handle that because they're killing vampires.
Yeah.
They're bad guys.
That makes sense.
It's different.
No, I hear that.
But like when it's anything that's demon possession, it's like you can't fight that. You're swinging at air.
Yeah.
You have no fight against a supernatural force.
We have the power of God to compel the supernatural force to leave.
Tell you what, man. You know when people say like some religions are BS?
Yeah. Well.
But I've seen.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard stories. It's worked. Like
I believe it.
Like my dad like talked about they used to have a Ouija board.
Yeah.
And he's like, it works.
Yeah.
He goes, it'll tell you what you want to know. He goes, you're working with demons.
Yeah.
He tells me straight up. He's like, you're working with demons. And I was like, you're just saying that? He's like, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And like other people I've talked to, like my
No,
brother
I believe in that
left
type
a
of stuff.
party. Like he was drunk and left the party when they pulled out a Ouija board.
Okay.
Because I don't fuck with that. And
I do
roll
like,
out.
So I mess with like tarot cards. I like having my fortune read. What were we talking about like 30 seconds ago getting on to
We were
that,
talking about
though?
sleep paralysis before that.
Yeah. Oh, and then also you growing up what religion did you grow up?
It was a Christian religion.
Okay. And you were I think all religions are like the same story but different tellings, if that makes sense. Like I think there's truth in all of them, and it's like all on, the discerning mind and heart to like find your way through the truth.
I look at the ones it's like if you can prove it to me with facts,
Yeah.
I'll buy it.
Okay. Like what?
Like historical facts.
Okay.
If you can show me where history gives credence to it, then I can buy that this happened.
Okay.
And like that's the thing is like, people say, one, they hit you with that there is no God.
Oh.
I was like, well, then explain to me how the universe is so calculated that if we were off by 1 degree, we'd be on fire.
Yep. It's
It sounds pretty like someone designed. Like
no, they absolutely. I agree with that.
Yeah.
There's like I think it's a comedian or someone who's like, he tells a joke where it's like, so you're telling me that like nothing created the universe, nothing created this, nothing did that, nothing did this,
that's,
that, and the other.
Pete Holmes.
Yeah, that's a pretty incredible nothing. So it's like, yeah, call it whatever you want. God, the universe, Buddha, Satan, if you want to call it. Like I don't care, but I think there's like truth in all of it. And you just have to, kind of take what you want. You know what I'm saying? Like learn as what you can from everything. Like every man's smarter than me in something. You can learn from it.
Well, my thing is this: if you're actually gonna like live a Christian lifestyle, like no one's perfect.
Yeah.
But at the same time, as long as you're trying to do good, do good.
Yeah.
I think that's the big thing. Is trying your best.
Well,
And like even knowing like when you mess up, like, yeah, I'm gonna try not to do that again.
I agree with that.
And
also, the flip side is the road to hell is paved with good intentions. But no, I fully agree with what you're saying, that like we're all just doing the best we can based on like our current perspective. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like based on your perspective, you're making the best decisions you can for, hopefully the most amount of people that you love and all that stuff.
Yeah. Like I was always like, where I grew up, it was the religion would be technically considered conservative.
Okay.
So like
I'm going to get up for a second.
when you
but keep
venture
talking.
out and you meet things that you don't normally see in that environment, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Venturing out. Oh, I'm scared. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're good. Yeah. When you venture out of that environment and you see things that you're not used to seeing, it freaks you out a little bit. But I'm also like one of those, because I feel this way, or like because I was raised this way and have this thought of towards people, I'm not gonna treat you bad because of that. You know what I mean? Like things like I was always like, actually, because you see like a lot of people like.
I think that's crazy important. I think people can, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
believe what they want. And now, granted, some beliefs are absolutely outlandish and you can't really tolerate them. But for the most part, if you're not like actively hurting someone, I grew up on like sticks and stones break bones, words don't. And I know words lead to action and all that, but like I'm just a big proponent of.
Prime example, you got these right-wing politicians that are Christian and whatever, and they're going after like gays and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, it's not your concern how they live their life.
Yeah.
Whether you agree with it or not, it doesn't really affect you.
Should not, yeah.
You know what I
Everyone
mean?
should be free to do whatever they want as long as they're not hurting someone else.
But then it's like everything should be in its box.
Yeah. I feel like, honestly,
like,
though, like most politicians, maybe I haven't been paying very close attention to politics, but is gay rights still a big issue? I kind of thought we solved that and, like, everyone can do whatever they want. I thought that was like
they always said gay marriage. Should gays be allowed to marry? And Robin Williams said it today because he was always the same sex. And I was like, I always was kind of like, they have the right to be miserable as everybody else. Go ahead, get married. What do you want? It doesn't affect me.
Yeah, that's
you know
funny.
what I mean? But I think everybody needs to respect everyone's feelings.
I agree
So if
with
someone's like, hey, I don't feel comfortable with that, just be like, okay, that's cool. Like, you don't have to be. Oh,
yeah. No, I
timer's
agree
up.
with that.
Yeah, give me 1 sec.
Cool. I think it's...
Oh, hang on. Yeah, now we're back.
Okay, we're back.
Yeah.
So, politics.
Yes, we were talking politics about right-wing politicians. Yeah, it's like you can't sit there and say that you're a Christian, but then you're yelling and screaming at people.
Yep. And I...
Like, hey, you're not actually. If you were actually what you said you were, and you actually believed in Jesus, Jesus didn't scream at the people that were yelling at him. He was very chill.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Almost
Except
like
when he lost his shit in the temple that one time.
that was different. You're doing business in my dad's house. It's like, someone you coming home and you find out your buddies threw a party in your dad's house.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Get the fuck out of my house!
Yep.
Like,
That's funny. I like that.
so it's like that's rightfully so. Given the context, he was right to lose his shit.
Yeah.
But yeah,
For the most part.
very
turn
chill.
the
Like
other
whenever
cheek.
he was facing opposition,
Yep.
like very cool.
Prince of Peace, as they call him. That would be a hell of a nickname. Nick the Prince of Peace Lombardo. Kind of has a ring to it.
Pretty dope.
Yeah, pretty dope.
It's fun to say too.
Yeah.
Prince of Peace.
I might have to write some jokes about that. No, I am going on the nickname bit. I enjoy that. But no, so politics. I really think it's like one party political system. Hot take here, guys. Because you're really telling me that like any multimillionaire Democrat or Republican has more in common with me or cares more about me than they do their own interests. Like George Carlin said, you don't need a conspiracy when you have a common interest. And like I think all the wealthy politicians have a common interest to keep the status quo. So they divide themselves, like the two parties, around the day's pressing social issues, so they can always have the population split and maintain the status quo where they just keep taking more power.
we're all pawns in a bigger game.
Yeah,
we all are. We have no real control over anything. You don't really have a control over who's president or not. You don't have a say in it. You think you do.
Yeah.
You don't. They give you the illusion of choice. Like, we very much live in, like, the Matrix without it being the Matrix.
Yeah.
Like, that's what's crazy to us, is that as a society, we do this. Think about this. There's invisible lines that says you can't go to that rock to this rock. Why? Because that guy, technically, who's that guy? Because we've had to vote for him.
Yeah.
He owns that rock.
Oh, shit.
Isn't that weird? Like,
That
this
is.
country owns that rock. Who's the guy who owns it? Well, that's Iraq. Okay, well, who owns Iraq? Nobody.
Yeah.
Right, so then I can walk over here and you start destroying logic and society breaks down. Like, no, it doesn't make sense. I'm like, just saying, like, why can't I walk over from here to there? Like, it'd be different if it was like someone's property, but
Yeah.
like, this is public land. The state, when they say the state owns it, who's the state?
Yeah, that's, I mean,
We all
the
own it
people.
then.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a unified front here. We all own it then.
Yep. No, I agree with that.
So if I walk across the thing and go, hey, man, is it cool if I come over here? Yeah, dude, come on over.
Yeah.
You can't say shit. I don't need a passport. They collectively, that guy said it was cool.
Yep. my one buddy is like really against passports. He's funny. He always tries to get like in and out of countries without using them, and he like mostly fails.
Oh, has he ever got across without it?
Kind of. So him and his brother needed to get to the Bahamas, so they like went to Florida, got on a cruise ship, and then just like disembarked in the Bahamas. You know what I'm saying? Like when you get off the boat for your excursion day, they just never got back on the boat.
How'd they get back then?
They didn't. They went and met a captain in the Bahamas and sailed to Antigua, and then to
They've been lost in the
the
Amazon ever
Azores.
since.
No, Antigua's Antigua's. I guess that is. I mean, it's an island. The Amazon is South America, though. You're right. But no, yeah, they're back in the States, living at some permaculture ranch or some shit. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. You could probably get around the. They don't have a wall over every country. I'm sure you could sneak across in the woods.
No, you
and
go in
one's-
by boat, you're good. Like you're
That's
just a stowaway. Yeah, you can do it absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why? I started thinking about it too much, and I start plotting the downfall of society.
Well, you can't do that, society.
I know. As soon as you do that, you get on a watch list.
Exactly. Yeah, we don't plan the downfall of society here, folks.
You know what I'd say?
We support society.
You know what I would say if I was on a watch list?
Huh.
Huh, watch this. I feel like that's a good comeback
And then
to that.
flip the table. Yeah,
Yeah.
watch this, guys.
Just,
Enjoy this
just stand
one.
there and do nothing. Just
Break the fourth
Just
wall.
glitch
I
out.
hope we're both enjoying wasting our time. Just sitting there doing nothing for the next 45 minutes of this podcast.
sit
In
there and
solidarity, we will just sit here and waste the CIA/NSA agent's time who is watching this right now.
stare. He's watching. He goes, God damn it! They haven't mentioned a bomb once. And they're in their stand-up comedians. They never talked about bombing at all.
Yep, that is true.
Well, because it's too traumatic for us. I've had some wicked bombs where you go up there and you nothing got a laugh, and you're just like, all right, I'm gonna put a gun in my mouth later, and then that gets a laugh.
So, yeah, that's fair. No, I will agree. When you're doing bad, like the best way to like deal with that is just like, aha, that joke didn't land, and like people think that's hilarious.
Yeah.
I guess my experience with bombing, like I've definitely bombed a bunch. I remember when I started Scarps, I hated going to Scarps because like you're standing behind the speakers, so like when you're up on stage doing your comedy, you sound quieter than the people in front of the speaker sound. So like I was up there talking, and I the bar was louder than I was. I thought, I was like, oh my God, no one can hear me anyways. And I just like rushed through my stuff. Anytime the audience, like I don't feel as actively engaged, I have trouble like getting jokes off. Like with a good audience, I'm great. With a non-engaged audience, I just feel like I need to rush through it.
I'll
Like,
tell you
no
what,
one's
the fun
love
Ari
Scarps now, by the way.
Yeah, you should check out. Was it Ari Shafir's? It was like, I think he did a master class of comedy.
Oh,
He's did 2 of them,
okay.
but like one of them he talks about. He goes, do bad rooms,
Yeah.
and when he means bad rooms, he's talking about like if you go in there and there's no audience, it's just all comics. Still go up. Like there's some people who be like, I'm not even wasting my time, and they leave. It's like he says, still go up because if you're ever on a show and that starts happening, you know how to handle it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, put yourself in weird situations. Do every room you can, like every type of room you can. Because he's like, one of these times you're going to get booked on that room.
No, that makes sense.
And won't know how to play that room out.
That makes sense. I like that. Have you done a decent amount of shows?
I've done a decent amount. Like, you know,
You want to just talk about that a little bit? Like, I'm a pretty new comic. I've done like one show and a bunch of open mics. Just like tell me about that a little bit.
I mean, see, when I do shows, it's like you get anxious.
Okay.
Like, I mean, at least me, I get nervous because I really want to do well because someone took a chance on me to put me on this show. My God, I better be funny.
Okay, that makes sense.
And so, like, there's a lot of pressure. Like, the scariest one for me was the Don't Tell Erie.
Okay.
While Don't Tell Erie, like, you know, it's Erie, PA and stuff. It's kind of out of the way a little bit.
No, but that's probably a big event in Erie, You know what I'm saying? Like, that's probably
deal.
like the fucking town homecoming in Erie, Pennsylvania. They're like, oh, we got some Pittsburgh comics coming up here. Like,
it was
this
packed
is a big
out
deal. Yeah.
too.
That's in Pittsburgh, like, Don't Tells are great shows and they're really funny, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like the Improv's bringing headliners through. There's like, I mean, I guess Don't Tell probably is too, but there's just so much. You know what I'm saying? There's Pirates games and Steelers games and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot to compete with. Versus in Erie, it's like, oh man, like we have some comics here.
For sure. And like that's the show that changed the game for me.
Okay.
Because Scriva was hosting the show, and he's like, that because I never seen you do comedy.
Okay.
He was like, you always kind of had the big hoss thing, and you know, was basically playing a character. He said I was basically. They said I was basically doing Slurms McKenzie. Him and Nick Doyle said I was Slurms McKenzie, and he's not wrong because I have that vibe in me. I have that's a side of me.
Okay.
But he was like, this was the first time I seen you do stand up.
Yeah.
And it changed my whole game.
Huh. Okay.
And it's like, but I did shows before that. And he's like, you could see hints of it there, but it didn't feel like you. And now I finally like found like my writing style.
That's sick. I like that. Yeah. I feel like I still need to like,
but that was a year and a half in.
A little bit. Yeah. Cause like I'm to the point where I think I'm pretty comfortable on stage, but I need to like, I mean, I think you can change personas throughout, but like I kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like most of my jokes are written in the same tone. I need to like really solidify what kind of personality I'm going to be on stage, if that makes sense, or like what my comic energy is or something. I don't know.
Like my thing is I start getting like to me, I have a hard time remembering like my set.
Yeah.
So as long as I have
too.
the bullet points and I can see what I'm talking about, I can go from there.
Yeah.
Like as long as I can see as long as I hit my bullet points, I know what I can talk about and I can kind of smoothly more go into it.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I write it out and then I like memorize the lines, and then once I have them memorized, then I'm kind of more comfortable and I can play around with them. And I think I write too much. I've had people tell me that I need to write less. So but like, you know what I'm saying? At the same point, I need to write more because I haven't been working on new material.
Yeah. I'm saying more subjects, less words.
Yes, exactly.
That's what I'm thinking.
Exactly.
Like for me, I have to tell everything in like a story format.
Okay.
Like something of a story. But it's like, so if I'm going to give my thoughts, I have to kind of like put it. I knew I could always like talk to people through writing, because I remember I did like it was an essay in high school. The the government teacher, I guess, when he wrote on my thing, he goes, "It felt like you were actually talking to me." And I was like, I've never had anyone tell me that.
That's like an important thing in like
I've never had someone say anything.
And even like business writing. You know what I'm saying? You want to communicate through a story. That's actually a way that like humans are more inclined to believe you if you tell them facts through a story. That's like the best way to sell stuff. Best way to like be entertaining is just tell a story. So that's like props to you for being able to do that.
Technically, you know who the best storyteller was?
Huh.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's right.
He taught everybody through
Can
storytelling.
I hit this on stage?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, cool. I don't normally use nicotine all the time.
Yeah.
Jesus was the best storyteller, though.
He does. You got the prodigal son story. Good Samaritan story.
Do you have a favorite like passage or story or whatever?
No, but I'll tell you what, the one that changed my whole view on like Bible stories is the story of Job.
Okay.
Because Job, you kind of get leave in, it's a fish story. And that's where people forget. That's it. It's a fish story.
What is the story of Job?
So the story of Job is God goes to Job and goes, hey, I need you to deliver a message to these people. If they don't change their ways, I'm going to destroy them in 30 days. They have 30 days to change their ways.
Shape up, yeah.
Or I'm wiping them off the face of the planet.
That was the Old Testament God.
And, yeah. And Job is like, I don't want to. And then he like leaves and goes the opposite way.
Yeah.
And he's on this boat. Well, God makes a storm to like make it like, you know, like basically is like going to rip this boat apart because he's not getting the hint.
Yeah.
And finally he's there and he's like, listen, this is because of me. I'm just going to jump off the boat.
Okay.
So he jumps off the boat and he gets swallowed by the fish. And then he prays to God like, listen, I'll go do what you asked me to do if you get me out of this.
Yeah.
And then
spits him up on shore.
Yeah. I don't know how that worked.
Yeah.
That's the part of the story where you're like, I'm gonna let you go on this one.
Yeah, take some creative freedoms.
I'm gonna let you take that one.
Yeah.
Because that's not the important part of the story. The important part of the story is when he gets to the town and he starts telling them every day, hey, if you don't change your ways, God's going to destroy it. And they laugh him off day one.
Yeah.
And it's like as time goes by, they start noticing like, hey, he's pretty serious. So they start slowly changing their ways like throughout by the time the 30 days comes up, they change their ways completely.
Nice.
And God goes, well,
love to see that.
I don't have to kill him now.
Yeah. Does he at least like put a light show up so everyone's like Job was right?
No.
Oh.
He just goes, so here's what happens. So Job gets pissed because he's like, I spent all this time, did all this stuff, and you didn't do anything.
Well, yeah, because it worked.
And he was mad about it.
Yeah.
So he storms off and he's all mad. And God makes in the book it makes this in the Bible makes a rubber tree plant grow like randomly,
okay.
just grow like miraculously because he's God, he can do what he wants.
Makes
it grow.
Wants, yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, that's a cool plant." Kills it immediately. And
Old Testament.
he goes, "What the hell? Like, why'd you kill the plant for? Like, what's the point of that?" He goes, "Oh, so you care more about the plant than you do the people."
Yeah. That is pretty wild.
Different ball game anymore.
Yeah.
Completely different ball game afterward. Because that's, and I'm dumbing it down because, you know, it's written in whatever. But, you know what I mean? Like, but the same message of the story there is you care more about, like, it's basically comparing social media right now. You care more about the dog than about the people that got mauled by the dog.
What do you think about Harambe?
I mean, parents need to watch their kids.
Yeah.
That's what that comes down to.
Yep. I will say, though, I always promised growing up that if, like, Nick Lombardo is in a position to, like, donate his time or money to charity, it would be going towards humans, not animals. And that kind of... So I had this opportunity to join the Friends of the Flock. Isn't that an incredible name? It's the Aviaries charity. And you get to go to like cool events and stuff. And I was like all keyed in. I got to go take a tour, learn all this stuff. And I was like, you know, I can't spend my money and time trying to save animals when there's like humans out there suffering.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, don't get me wrong. You don't.
Animals are great.
Because that's the thing too, is like, you know, you don't torture animals either.
Yeah,
like
no.
that's, God even says like, hey, listen, if you're treating your animal bad, I'll kill you in a heartbeat. Like, has no problem doing that. And so that's my thing is like when you start looking at those, like the Old Testament is like the angry God.
Yeah.
It's like it's basically, okay, we're also, look at the time frame of humanity we were in. We were infants.
Yep.
In terms of a society.
Yep.
And what do you do when you have toddlers that are acting up?
Beat the shit out of them.
Exactly. That's what
Shake
he's
'em.
doing. He's like, listen, I told you, knock it off. Told you.
Yeah.
Stop worshiping a cow. It doesn't make sense. He starts freaking out.
Yeah. I like that.
That's what he is. He's angry dad mode. He has to slap you a couple
Humanity's
times to get you to
adolescence,
listen.
yeah.
And now once he's done the hard, like, okay, you guys
Now that
know
we're
how to be
potty
good
trained,
people,
yeah.
right? Cool. Now you'd have to love each other.
Okay.
Like, now you guys have to love each other. Get along now.
That makes sense. I like that.
That's what it is. Most of it's the hard rules of how to be a good person. And then the other half is basically like, now you have to be nice to people.
Okay. I like that. I like, is the golden rule in the Bible, like, treat others as you want to be treated?
I think it's kind of kind of in there.
Good. That's something that I like to live by.
That's how I treat it.
Yeah.
I was one of those, like, don't just treat somebody cool because they might have something you want.
Yeah.
Or they could help you with. Treat them just because, hey, what up, dude?
Yep. No, treat people how you want to be treated. Because, like, ultimately, Hoss, I believe that, like, you know what I'm saying? I think we're all one conscious entity. So it's like, why would I be mean to you? I'm just being mean to another version of myself. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like, if God created all of us, he loves all of us. Like, even the shitty people, he even loves them.
Yeah, we all got to be stoners. Everybody needs to take a stoner logic when it comes to treating people.
Yep.
Stoners are the nicest people. Hey, man, that's cool. Yeah. Nice shirt.
Yep.
Like, nice shoes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
I like your shirt, too. Like, stoners are cool.
They're good people. I agree with that.
Like Matthew McConaughey. If everyone was Matthew McConaughey, we'd all be weird.
Is he a stoner?
Oh, big time.
Oh, nice. Did not know that.
His book, the best.
Really?
And he reads the audiobook. Best thing to fall asleep to.
Oh, my God, dude. That sounds
thing to fall asleep to.
incredible. Wow. I should really check out that audiobook.
That's
I'm
how
not
I
a big audiobook guy. I prefer, like, the
That's
written
how
word.
I mastered the impression.
Oh,
Listening to the audiobook.
Do you do a nice McConaughey impression? Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Can I hear it?
So, like, I had that joke in my set about using the Calm app.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about the Calm app is they have celebrity sleep stories.
Okay.
And the best one is the Matthew McConaughey one.
Yeah.
Because you get 2 stories for the price of 1.
Okay.
Because he starts off like, I'm going to read you a story about this little girl looking at the stars. You know, back in 95, I did this movie called Contact. And, like, he does that.
Yeah.
And he starts talking about making the movie Contact.
Okay.
And it's like 10 minutes later, he jumps back in and tells the story he was supposed to tell.
Okay.
It's like, why?
Yeah.
Like, why did you...
Because he's Matthew McConaughey, man. He's a superstar.
Right. I said, but I never get to the actual story. I don't know what the story's about. I get to the beginning of the story, and I'm dead. He's already sapped the energy out of you.
Yeah, that's fair. Damn.
But it's kind of funny. You can get the unhinged McConaughey when he's, like, telling stories. Like, there's one he has about, like, living in Australia.
Oh, dude, Australia scares me. They have way too many, like, giant spiders.
He did, like, a foreign exchange thing.
That's cool.
And he lived with this family, but the family started to turn on him and be like, we want you to call us mom and dad. And he's like, I already got a mom and dad back home. I ain't going to do that. That's weird. It was hilarious.
That is, I should check that out. That sounds like an incredible experience just waiting to happen. I've been trying to watch more like classic movies to do like acting study or whatever. I'm doing There Will Be Blood right now by
the I Drink Your Milkshake.
Yeah. I'm like halfway through it. My attention span's so bad anymore. I can't watch a whole movie. I'm like, all right, we watched half time to go to
Especially
bed.
a boring movie. A boring movie.
Yep.
Like that movie is like, I'll tell you the one I hate more, No Country for Old Men.
Oh,
Style?
I think I've seen that. Yeah.
Cool. Story-wise, what happened? And then at the end, like, they try to give you this, oh, yeah, well, it's actually the sheriff reflecting about how the violence is so intense, it's past his time, and he needs to give up.
Yeah.
Couldn't just say
pretty
that in the movie instead of just having him rant about something that doesn't make sense?
Yep. That makes me think of, like, I always thought it was funny as a kid, like in, like reading class or whatever. Teachers would be like, what does that mean? And someone would like give their opinion. You'd be like, oh no, like that's wrong. Like, I don't know where you got that shit.
Yeah. And then like you listen to it and it's completely wild take. I never knew how to answer those because I didn't like the stories.
So do you have any wild takes?
Ooh. I'm trying to think offhand because most of my takes are pretty like, I don't think Tremors is a good movie.
Okay, I don't think I've seen Tremors, so I'll agree with that.
I'm trying to think offhand. Do
I'll
you have any
share
wild
one.
takes?
Yeah, I think tattoos are great for like boring people. No offense if you have a tattoo. I've just talked to so many people in bars, and it's like that's all they can fucking talk about. You know what I'm saying? Like, guy walks up to a group of girls being hit on by a guy or hitting on a group of guys, whatever it is. They're always talking about their tattoos, man. Like, if your tattoos are the most interesting thing about you, not a great sign.
I have
Hot take.
tattoos,
Okay.
but never talk about them.
See, that's fine.
Because like I have the thing, but I'm waiting for you to mention it.
I don't hate on tattoos. I just hate. I honestly would say a general pet peeve is like people who make one thing their personality. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, dude, it's fine. Like, have tattoos if you want, but like, don't make that your personality. Same thing with smoking weed. Like, nothing wrong with smoking weed, but if your entire personality is smoking weed, like.
But I appreciate those guys. We need those guys.
That's. I mean, I'm not saying they're
we
great.
We don't knock those people.
When I need a pick me up, that's
those
fantastic.
You have a friend. You have that friend that you can call and be like, I know you got some shit.
Yeah, but they're just always complaining about legalizing, and it's like, man, just go get it. It's fine.
Yeah,
It
but
probably
I'd like
should
to
be
have
legal.
it with no hassle. Okay,
That's fair.
that's. I get their point on the legalized because I want it with no hassle.
That's fair.
It should be the same as like you go
Just
out
go
to
into
get
any.
beer.
It is crazy when you're in like Ohio or whatever, and you can just go into any gas station and like they're just selling weed. You're like, what?
Yeah, you scan your ID and they're like, yeah, you're good. And they're like, that's a PA license. Like, yeah, but it's legal here.
Yep.
And they're like, they don't care.
It is wild. Like, that is pretty cool. I also wonder like how they're gonna police that when it is legal.
I don't know. It's weird because then you also see where Thailand they like legalized it,
Yeah.
and then banned it 3 years later.
Oh, really? I wonder why. Do you know why?
I mean, that's the thing is like the reason why things are illegal is because society doesn't know how to act. That's the problem.
You know what I think probably should be illegal? This might be another hot take. Sports betting, dude. Sports betting is, I think, so bad for society, low key. Like, people are spending
it ruins the games.
Yeah.
You've ruined sports now.
What also like ruins people's pocketbooks.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Gambling in
is
general.
such an addiction. Like, it's so easy to become a gambling addict, from my understanding.
Not for me because I've lost every time I tried it. Every time I've tried it, I've lost, and it's like I don't think I'm meant for this. I'd rather spend my money on booze and waste it.
Yep. No, that makes sense. So
I'd rather waste my money than try to get more and lose. Then I feel like I didn't lose. I didn't even feel anything.
Yeah.
Like, I feel bad for no reason. At least.
So, like, my auntie Eunice explained to me, I was like, Eunice, you come in here every day, you spend like 60, 70, $100 on lottery, and it's like, I never see you win. And she's like, yeah, but I don't have any other vices. I don't drink, I don't smoke. I just like spending the tickets. Like, people go to the bar more and spend there. And I'm like, no, I guess that's fair. But, like, I agree. It's like, you're not going to win. You're not going to win.
And then with old people, it's just something for them to do.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I don't like my kids anyway.
Get the rush. Yeah, that is funny.
I get it. It's like, hey, they don't come and visit. Fuck them. Guess where the rest of the money's going. Have fun.
Now I'll know why if my dad ever picks up a gambling addiction. I'll be like, shit, you did this to him.
Yeah, then you should come around more.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you're like,
Lesson
I need
learned.
to come around more.
Yep. If you ever see your parent starting to develop a gambling addiction, just come around.
Dude, it's weird. I think as I get older, the more I start the more you start like thinking about like, oh, I probably should spend more time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
When you like, lose a loved one, you know what I'm saying? It puts it into perspective where you're just like, damn, like, I was going out partying with friends or whatever, and it's like, I wish I would have spent more time. I think that's always something.
Yeah, and then then you watch all those dad movies, and it makes it even so much harder.
Yep.
Or
like
I'll give you a good one.
Yeah.
I think it's. I don't think this one's filmed in Pittsburgh. I don't think, but it's Tom Hanks and Jackie Gleason.
Oh.
Jackie Gleason's last movie.
Okay, I'll check that out. Tom Hanks is a
I think
great
it's called
actor.
On Common Ground or something.
Jackie Gleason.
Yeah, that's the guy he was the cop in Smokey and the Bandit. Ooh, actually, get ready to have to check the camera. And then we'll do this one more time, then we'll wrap it up because we're hitting almost 2 hours.
Cool.
And we're back.
There we go.
For the final segment.
Winding it down.
Yeah, because the problem is the files get too big, and Spotify doesn't like me uploading those.
I thought you were just sick of talking to me.
No. Trust me, I could go for hours.
Excellent.
I mean,
Excellent.
hey, the one before this, we almost did 3.
Damn. Okay.
We were trying to hit 3, and then we hit that point where it was like, we got nothing else to talk about.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
It's the worst.
Hear that.
But no, it's like it's hard to find people like to talk about things, and we only met a handful of times.
Yep.
Yeah, and
No,
you've come to
I appreciate you having me on though. It's
my
fun.
studio set apartment.
Love it.
Don't know how long. Yeah,
No, it is a nice little place though. It was hard to find. I will
Cheap
say
rent.
that. Yeah.
it's cheap rent. That's what I can say for it.
That's what like cheap rent's hard to come by in the city. Like I'm trying to. I had a place in Bloomfield for like $1,000, but it was full of mold, so I moved out, and I have to find a new place now. Which
That's
sucks.
the bad thing is
Yeah.
you start finding like, oh, this is a bad place to live in, and then you're like, because that's the hard part. Is like I don't know the areas of Pittsburgh because I didn't grow up in the city. I
Yep.
grew up in Washington. So when I move here, it's like I don't know what's a good area to live in. Then I'm looking at how far is away from work because I don't want to drive into the city.
Yeah.
Well,
no, that
the
makes sense.
new place I'm going to be at is over like
Where are
it's
you
kinda-
working?
It's like over by Hinesfield.
Okay.
So I'm like I don't think traffic will be too bad from this way. in.
Yeah. What are you going to be doing?
Oh, the same thing I do now,
Okay.
which is like electrical design.
Oh, right on.
So I draw blueprints and stuff.
Sick. For like construction.
Yeah.
Oh, very
I was
cool.
doing it for industrial work because at the time of this release, I don't work there no more.
Them.
I wouldn't say that.
Okay,
Just
we
in
like
case I
them.
can come back. But
Yeah, we like them. We like them.
yeah, I keep my. I'm trying to write some jokes about it because like it was too corporate for me.
Yeah.
For one, because I don't like that whole like, what's your career going to be like in 5 years? I'm here for a job, dude. You see what I'm doing now? I'm doing. I want to do this in 5 years.
Yeah.
I want to do.
That's
this.
what you can't tell people that. Though,
No,
like
you
in an
can't tell
interview,
people
yeah.
that. You can't be real and have you can't have dreams when you're applying for a job.
Yep.
They're your dreams.
Yep.
Apparently.
I just want to be wherever I can be in this company in the next 5 years.
I'm gonna
I want to be
start
as
telling-
high as I can make it in this company.
I'm going to start telling jobs that I want to be rich and famous in 5 years. That's what I want.
Well, I don't know if I would do that.
You know what I mean? And they're asked, what's your 5-year plan? I want to be rich and famous in 5 years.
Nice.
And they're like, and you're just like, yeah, because it's a job. You're supposed to fund the way my life.
Yep.
That's what you are.
That's not the American dream though.
Yeah, and I like how I like how people, we grow up here and you can be whatever you want to be, and society's real quick to be like, no, the fuck you can't.
Yeah, as long as it's a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer, you can be anything you want to be.
Yep.
But no, that's cool. The like blueprint drawing, that's probably a cool field to be in.
Yeah. As soon as you say you want to do art, you're not cool anymore.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that, like, trust me. When I told my parents I was doing comedy, they were just like, I don't get it.
Yep.
Why? And then the funniest part is when your family looks and goes, but you're not funny.
Thank you, Mom and Dad.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Appreciate it.
that. Yep.
Yep. And then you're just like, but it is what it is. Like, I mean, they don't get it. I mean, they're from a time that, my parents, for instance, my mom lives down the road from where she grew up.
I bet my parents are older than yours.
How old are your parents?
76 and 77.
Oh, I got you beat.
Really?
Yeah, my dad's 83.
Oh, wow.
My mom is 74.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you do have me beat. My mom was older when she conceived me, though, because we're the same age. But your dad is way older than mine. Your dad was a player, man. Let's fucking
Yeah, my
go.
dad was 49 when I was born. My mom was 41.
Okay. I think my parents were 45 and 46, but that is incredibly rare. I meet almost no one with older parents than me.
Every time I meet, women, they're like, I'm ready to settle down and have kids. You can actually wait.
Yeah.
There's proof of that. Your kid will come out fucked up and want to do comedy, but...
Yeah, dude, you know what's crazy? If you have like a pregnancy, I think it's over like 35. It's like not that old. They call it a geriatric pregnancy. I don't know if it's 35 or not. I forget the age. Someone told me that. Someone might have a joke about it. I'm not sure. But yeah, isn't that like crazy?
That's wild,
Yeah,
right?
that's wild. Geriatric. To me, geriatric means like pissing on yourself
I
in a
thought
hospital
40
bed.
to 50 was like that was an old pregnancy.
I mean, I think it is.
Because like I've seen like there's women who've given birth at 60.
Well, they also say like your first one. You know what I'm saying? Like it's more dangerous to have your first pregnancy the older you get, because it's like once you have one, they kind of know, everything's working the way it should be, and you're probably not going to have major complications, is my understanding of pregnancy. And this has been Nick and Haas on women's bodies. But no. So you were asking, we were saying for the last bit of this, I'm going to talk about like...
Yeah, where you want to go like comedy-wise? Like, do you want to be like in acting? Do you want to do like Saturday Night Live, improv?
So...
It goes so many... You meet people with so many different backgrounds. Like, some people I know more like to do improv, but they do stand-up as like just a way to keep like well-rounded.
So I would say I would love to have a creative career, whether that's acting, stand-up, writing, directing. I would love to have a creative career. I kind of see it going like I would say my two big ones are stand-up and acting. If I had to pick, people always ask me to like, if you could be a famous actor or comic, which would you do? And I really don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like if I could be either, it's like, well, actors might be paid better, but I feel like comics get like more freedom, and I kind of like that lifestyle more, where it's like, you just live life until you have a special together, then like you go do your special, go on the road for a while.
You could do a Kevin Smith and to be a director, then go do Q&A for your movies, and then that's basically turns into a stand-up special.
Oh, really?
That's how he got to do comedy.
Oh, I'm gonna have to watch that. That's funny. I didn't
know
that.
did you ever watch An Evening with Kevin Smith?
No.
It's all Q&A.
Huh.
But then it eventually evolves. Like all the DVDs he does were all Q&A stuff, and then eventually that ends up becoming he ends up releasing a stand-up special.
That's wild.
But I was just listening to him on Bert Kreischer talk about it.
That's wild. I didn't know any of that.
And he's like, I never felt like I didn't deserve to go to a comedy club because I'm not a real comic.
Yeah.
And Bert's like, no, I think you're 100% a real comic. Like, you do funny shit.
Yep.
You say funny shit. You're a comic. He's like, because we would have more respect for you than if it was an actor coming in and wanting to do stand-up, because it's like, you don't need this.
Yeah.
Why are you here? And if you go up there and you bomb, people are like, man, I should have never came and seen stand-up.
Yeah.
He goes, that's how some people viewed it. He's like, but some people are like kind of like Kevin Smith is kind of like he's done stand-up without doing stand-up.
No, that makes sense. I think like I want to do both. I would love to be like a stand-up comic who gets like acting roles and like some comedy, but some serious stuff too. I just think that would be so cool.
Bill Burr directed a movie, directed Old Dogs.
Yep.
I mean, and there's a lot of stand-up guys that are writers. And I'll tell you what, I didn't know that you know who Christian Harloff is on YouTube?
No.
He does like movie news podcast. He did stand-up with Bert Kreischer.
Oh, really?
He talked about, like, I heard Bert mention him on the pod. He goes, oh, I ran into Christian at the store.
Yeah.
Because Christian was at the comedy store doing a set. Like, and it was like, oh, these guys do comedy with each other, and some of them branch out into other things, and that becomes more successful, but they still go like do stand-up sometimes.
No, that makes sense. That's I would like that. That would be so cool. Yeah, no, but comedy, I want to get into skits too. That's like kind of the next, because I have like film friends who I do like short films with for like the 48 and just kind of like some student films and stuff. So I kind of want to get like a group of them and a group of comics together and like kind of combine everyone's skills to produce like some really high quality short skits. I think that would be so much fun. So that's like where I guess, you know what I'm saying? I guess that would be, we were talking like 5-year plans. That would be like my 5-year comedy plan. Get more comfortable on stage, learn to tell like punchline jokes.
I have a couple skits I've like worked on, or I've thought about, but just never written because I never wrote anything.
Yeah.
So I don't know how do you write anything.
Yeah, I kind of, have that same struggle. I have a concept I'm working on now. It's Stay-at-Home Husbands. It's just like a buddy comedy. I want to do a pilot about like stay-at-home dads who, probably one of them is like a chill hippie guy, and one of them like had, a pretty good career, but his wife definitely had like a way better career, and they're having kids, so he has to quit his career to like be a stay-at-home dad. And you know what I'm saying? It's a buddy comedy about these two guys who are friends, and like one of them's kind of because it'll
like the odd
poke
couple,
fun at like
the odd couple, but they're dads.
Yeah, kind of, and it's like it'll poke fun at like kind of men's egos and traditional gender roles a little bit, but then it'll also like the hippie guy will just be like real down to earth and cool with that role, and the other guy will struggle with it a little bit, and they'll help each other come to terms with it or whatever. Because
like I'm a cinephile, and I like my YouTube's a lot of like movie stuff, like movie pieces. And one of them is they were talking about Mr. Mom.
Okay.
Did you ever see Mr. Mom?
No.
So it's a Michael Keaton movie in the 80s where he lost his job at the car plant. So his wife goes, well, hey, since you lost your job, she goes, I'll go back to work and you stay with the kids kind of thing. So the whole movie is him just adjusting and struggling. Like he actually went to the grocery store and had no idea where anything was.
You said that's Michael Keaton?
Yeah. It's like it was made in like 83.
Sick. I'm gonna watch that.
Thank you. Christopher Lloyd's in it, like before Back to the Future. The chick from Young Frankenstein, Terry Garr, is in it. That's the mom. But it's actually a really good movie. It's like a John Hughes type movie.
That's sick. Now I'm excited for that. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a comedy and stuff. Like it's funny. My mom likes that movie. But then there's a male stripper scene in that, and my parents are very prudish when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny that she's like, "Oh yeah, it's a nice movie," and I'm like, "There's a male stripper scene in here. Are you trying to make me gay?" Yes. But yeah, it's like I do like, I like the idea of that, like the different things. I had a couple of ideas. I had one about what if aliens came to Earth, except the only transmissions they saw was porn? So how they interact with people is just like they keep talking in euphemisms, and they're like, why do they keep trying to think we want to fuck?
Yeah.
And they're like, it's all misinterpreted.
Yeah.
I think they could be funny. A funny premise.
Yeah. No, I like that. That'll be a good short film. Well, I mean, could you adapt it into a whole series or feature film?
I don't know if you could or not.
I feel like that would be a great. You could get.
I feel like it could be a good characteristic of the aliens.
Yeah.
But you couldn't do it like a whole film centered around that as the comedy.
But you could do they crash land and they need some parts to get back to their planet, and so that what I'm saying. That's the plot. Them trying to get their stuff back, but all the time they're interacting with humans. They're doing it in porno euphemisms.
Yeah.
That sounds like a pretty sweet movie.
The best part is when the guys, the male alien or husband or whoever's doing it, just hold up, I got this. And I feel like that's whenever he goes, hold up, I got this, he's gonna say some wild shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I think it could be really fun because he got all the hardcore ones, so it's always aggressive. Actually, now at this point, it'd be hilarious if they just all had different genres that they were talking in.
Yeah. I like that. Just different.
Oh, now that could be the movie based. That all the aliens have one weird thing they're into. That could be funny.
What are their 4 genres? What do you think?
Oh, I don't know. One would have to be hardcore.
Okay, so BDSM and shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or no. Yeah. Yeah, you have to have a BDSM one. You'd have to have one that's a into cougars.
Milfs, yeah. What about a shame porn or something? Is that in BDSM?
That'd be BDSM. Okay. I'm trying to think. Yeah, that'd be funny.
It's a great word that doesn't really kind of cuckold. I love the word cuckold. That's a man whose wives cheated on him, and apparently back in the day they wore green hats, and a green hat was a sign of a cuckold in Europe or some shit.
Fuck, changes Robin Hood for me.
Right.
Changes Robin Hood for me because now the merry men. Now we know why we know what they mean by the merry men now.
They were merry as.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, I would be too. Maid Marian. That's what her name was.
I don't know that much about Robin Hood.
You know what? First of all, you didn't grow up on Disney Robin Hood?
No, I did, but I didn't. I don't know. My memory's shitty. Yeah. I did watch a decent amount of Robin Hood as a kid, but I just remember Big John and the Merry Men and Robin Hood.
Yeah, Little John.
Little John, yeah.
Yeah, I always the best part is like I like the I like the Robin Hood Men in Tights one, the Mel Brooks one,
Okay.
because a very interesting point is brought up there, because the guy that plays Robin Hood is the same guy from Princess Bride,
Oh, okay.
and they said,
Good
"Oh,
film.
why should we listen to you?" He goes, "Because I am the only Robin Hood with a British accent." And you start looking back, he's right.
Oh, really?
He is the only Robin Hood that actually had a British accent at that time.
That's funny.
Because like Kevin Costner just played the movie they're parodying. Kevin Costner just made, and it's an American playing Robin Hood.
Nice.
And he
Subtle dig at it.
just-
That's fun to see in a movie. Like,
Oh, yeah.
little break the third or the fourth wall or whatever.
yeah, and then they instead of using Morgan Freeman, they had Chef from South Park, Isaac Hayes,
Oh, really?
and his son was Dave Chappelle. He's like, "Look for my son." He goes, "What is his name?" Achu. He's, "Oh, bless you. No, that's his name."
And that's Dave Chappelle? Oh, my God, dude. How don't...
Yeah, it's
That's
like young
incredible.
Dave. He's like 23.
That's incredible. I should watch that. I want to see a young Dave Chappelle. He is such a good comic, man.
Best-
I know he gets in trouble, but, like, he's so funny.
Best part is I forget, someone fell and he goes, "White men can't jump." It's like you look at the time period, it's like, oh, that was the movie that just came out.
Yep, that's funny. So
Yeah.
they're just doing a bunch of references. Okay.
Well, it's like you watch the old Mel Brooks movies, they were actually good parodies.
Yeah.
And then the new one, like his later ones, end up just becoming like parodies of current movies then. And it's like, oh, that's not as good as like Young Frankenstein, where you just were being goofy for the sake of being goofy and telling an original story.
Yeah.
Yeah, or sort of an original story.
Yeah, Frankenstein's not
Yeah.
that original. But, you know, probably one of the first times it was adapted to film or whatever.
Yeah. So we hit over the 2 hour mark. We're at 2:10, like 2:09.
I think.
Good place to wrap it up.
Yeah, I think
Ending
so.
on Mel Brooks,
I like
comedy
that.
legend.
I like that.
Yeah, if you want to tell people where they can find you at, like on the socials and
Oh. Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram at laughwithlumby.com, or no, laughwithlumby. Yeah, just laughwithlumby, at laughwithlumby. And then also you can find me every Thursday night at the Links doing comedy. And we're going to have a fun new format for that eventually. Kind of, yeah, soon.
Yeah.
Very soon.
Heck yeah. Maybe sooner than when this episode drops.
Possibly sooner, but we'll see.
Also go see Superman, because this will come out when Superman comes out.
Go see Superman, ladies and gentlemen, and get the popcorn bucket.
All right. Yeah, I seen the crypto one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. All right. And I'll wrap it up. See you guys.
Peace.